Welcome to Wilmington High School as the Burlington Red Devils are set to take on the Wilmington Wildcats in this edition of Friday Night Football High School. Coming into this game, the Burlington Red Devils are currently 0-5 with their last game being a 43-21 loss against the Wakefield Warriors at home. During the game, Burlington showed signs of progression offensively while their defense struggled. On the other side of the turf is the Wilmington Wildcats, who are coming into this game 4-1 with an .800 win percentage, led by head coach Craig Turner. Their last game, they walked away with their second straight win, 32-17 over the Watertown Red Raiders. I'm Joe Viscioni alongside Nick Bongiorno and Matt DiMarzio for BCAT Sports. We're going to welcome you to kickoff. And just a few questions here. Nick, so over the past few days, we've heard of rumors of possible changes, such as slotting junior Nick Campbell into linebacker, replacing Cody Davidson, as he's going to move to defensive end. Now that we can confirm this, how will these moves affect Burlington's defense?
Yeah, Joe, as you rightly said, these moves are going to greatly, that's right to kick off right there. Nick Campbell, my good old homeroom buddy, been bench warm most of his career. Now he's finally gets his time to shine. Last week wasn't a starter, he's put in by the McKinnon's seat. You get a little change, and he did a great job, 9 tackles. And tonight he's on Sean McGill, linebacker. They're going to play a big role in stopping the run, trying to get to the pressure on the quarterback. Burlington needs to play good defense against this Wilmington team. They're going to have a chance right now. And as we said, Kyle Pena offensively, I think as I saw him in Watertown, showing great signs of progression, and he's going to do it.
And Burlington's defense coming onto the field with a 4-man defensive front. Back in the shotgun is number 5. Gives it on the reverse up the middle and tackled at the line of scrimmage by what looks to be Dylan McKinnon, the defensive tackle. Senior standout making it, and that's going to be about a 0-yard gain for the Wildcats.
Yeah, right there. Dylan McKillen, Joe, is his only time to see a break through that line, and he just stops him at the line. And that's actually Jay McCauley, excuse me, but Burlington again, cohesive enough to break through the line and just get a good stop.
Wakefield, 2 receivers out to each side, and this is Graham Smith in the gun. Takes it up the right side, gonna scramble and find his receiver out of bounds across the 32-yard line. Bring it up and looks to be a third and 4.
Yeah, I think they're going to mark it either a first down or 3rd and 1, Joe. Either way, very good play right there by to get the tackle, but it was a bit of a blown coverage, I'd say. A lot of people around him and no one completely on him, just an easy, pretty gain, and now it's going to be set up as Burlington looks to
Chris
stop.
Caraco making the tackle, slotting into corner. Ryan O'Halloran, who used to be the free safety, is also a corner as Burlington changed up their defensive alignments due to Ryan Cohen. Here's number 26 across the right sideline on the sweep, and he has tackled what looks to be just short of the first down. And the Burlington get a good stop, and that's going to be the first 3 and out of the game for the Wildcats. So Burlington's defense proving to be pretty well stopping the run on the first drive of the game.
Yes, very important right there. Set the momentum, set the tone of the game defensively. Get a quick 3 and out. They're now Wilmington just looking to punt, or maybe they'll go for it on touch. No, they're going to punt. But very good play by Burlington. Set the tone, and now Burlington's kick returner is going to get a chance. And Kyle Pena's first offensive show.
Ryan O'Halloran to return this one at about the 30.
Nice kick.
And looks like he is number 4 right on him, and is going to be wrapped up at the 30. Great coverage, great punt coverage by the Wildcats, allowing no gain. So that was number 4, Tyler Roberts, the senior captain, with the tackle.
Yeah, it was a great jump off the edge. You saw him immediately after the punt. He got by his man. Ryan O'Halloran very loose, so unfortunately not anywhere near enough to get out of the grasp.
So jogging on is the offense led by sophomore quarterback Kyle Pena. Pena had a fantastic game 2 weeks ago in Watertown where he put up 325 passing yards, over 50% completion percentage, and threw for 3 TDs. Last week it wasn't the same, as only threw for 144, an interception, and a fumble. So he'll try to get back on top of things. Pena starts out in the shotgun, takes the snap, has time, fires on the screen over to, looks like Davidson. Davidson picking up yards and is tackled at about the 36, 37-yard line.
Cody Davidson, nice little play right there, like just a little bit of a screen pass, trying to set some blocks. Cody Davidson didn't look like there's anything there. Might have missed out the line, and he always this year strong, been able to elude some guys, and he gets a couple yards there.
So the Devils lost their last game, but no thanks to Cody Davidson, who had a fantastic game, rushing 90 yards, also including a 25-yard touchdown reception out of the flat. Pena fires to his left. First down, caught by, looks like, number 4, Ryan Culhane, coming back from his earlier leg injury, moving the chains just near Wilmington territory. So already making an impact. We spoke about Culhane earlier, who changed up the Burlington's defense a bit and already affecting the passing game.
Absolutely, Ryan Culhane, he was eager all season to get back in there. Very good friend of mine, along with Sean, and 2 great athletes, and Ryan Culhane proving some worth here.
Pena fakes the draw, takes it himself up the middle, is going to be stopped for no gain, bringing up a 2nd and down, and Nick, the Wildcats defense, read that draw from the start of it.
Yeah, they read the draw. Unfortunately for Pena, not the right decision to give it off to Davidson, and Davidson gets destroyed at the line.
So Burlington already facing a 2nd down situation. Pena in the gun, drops back, has pressure up the middle, throws it as he's hit, and finds, as it looks to be Davidson, picking up just about a yard, bringing up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Joe, it was not a good play right there. The Wilmington's defense for the 2nd straight play read it all the way. They tried to do the same thing they did earlier. It didn't work too well either. Unfortunate, but this time, Wilmington just had too many players, and Cody Davidson couldn't work the magic of eluding players.
And it looks like
so it's going to be 3rd down, Joe.
Looks like number 75, Andrew Woods, is shaken up on the field. Not too good to see from him, as he had a torn ACL last season, just recovering from that one. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Now, speaking of this Burlington offense, definitely improving over the past few weeks. But last week, Burlington had some trouble converting on 3rd downs, as they're going to have to do here, as they were 0-5 last week, which is definitely a terrible stat for the Red Devils, as you don't want to see. Nick, me and you talked so much, and we really appraised Kyle Pena for how well he's done as a sophomore quarterback. What does he need to do to get done today to keep improving?
Yeah, we'll definitely keep the connections with the wide receivers going. What I saw in Watertown, unfortunately couldn't be here for the last game, but Watertown, very effective passing it to his receivers, getting the ball off, eluding defenders on the blitz.
Pena drops back, pressured up the right side, fires, hit as he throws, and that pass looks to be intercepted.
And it is, Joe. And what a horrible throw.
And is picked off right around the 25-yard line by Wilmington. Pena intended for Jake McCauley, leads to an interception and already a turnover on the first drive. A great start for the offense.
No, Joe, listen. Kyle Pena had all the time in the world this time. The pocket was collapsing a little bit, but he had time. He whipped the ball, and it was good coverage, but you can't throw that ball with such tight coverage, and Pena gets punished for it, Joe, and now Wilmington has momentum.
And here's on the handoff by Smith. Smith up the middle to his running back. He's going to pick up about 2 or 3 yards on the carry. And I believe that was, number 11, Brendan Ross. And they're going to mark it for about 3 yards. That's going to be John Kenny. So John Kenny, the senior running back, picking up 2 yards from scrimmage. And we spoke about Burlington's defense before the game, as Cody Davidson is slotting into nose guard, defensive tackle. And on the left side, McGilvery showing a weak side blitz, getting after the quarterback. Smith is going to take it himself up the sideline and runs out of bounds just along the 40-yard line, picking up about 4 yards.
Yeah, Joe, that was a break. The play was broken down immediately. Wilmington, what the play they wanted to do, they misinterpreted what Burlington was going to do. Burlington brought pressure, lots of players going in. As we said, linebackers Sean McGilvery and Nick Campbell need to be big tonight. They both went after him, forced him to go out of bounds. Only about a 3-yard gain, but still 3rd down, Joe, and now Burlington has a chance to get the ball back.
So 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. Burlington trying to hold them to no 3rd down conversions as they did on their last drive. Smith back in the shotgun, has Keeney to his right. 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right.
Oh, nice pressure.
Smith fires to the right, and the pass is caught around the 48-yard line. What a great reception by number 4, Tyler Roberts.
Joe, that was unbelievable throw, unbelievable pass. That was a great play all around for Wilmington, and it was a great play by Burlington too. They could not have played the coverage or their defensive scheme better. They got pressure on the quarterback calm, composed, and made a nice throw to his receiver, and Ryan O'Halloran, you can't cover better than that, and he just gets outran and outbeat.
Smith has Kenny to his right, gives it to him on the halfback draw on the sweep, and he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by the Red Devils, and it looks to be Nick Campbell on the tackle.
Sean Kenny tackle in the backfield.
Sean
number
Casey.
20, Josh Lee.
Excuse me, on the tackle.
Second down, 15.
So a 5-yard loss, a great start for Josh Lee.
Josh Lee showing some of his wrestling ability, one of the best wrestlers we've had in Burlington High School. And he just braced the line, interprets the run, and they get a loss of 5 yards.
So Smith motioning with his offensive line, asking for a bit better protection. Smith takes the snap, gives it over to Kenny. And Smith is wrapped up on the quarterback's knee. Ball could have gone loose, but he picks up about 2 yards on the gain, bringing up a 3rd and 12.
Yes, Smith, quarterback of Wilmington, doing pretty good this year as leading the Wilmington Wildcats along with all the other great players who are experiencing a good scheme. It's a 4-1 Joe, only lost of the season 27-13 to Melrose, but they're a very good team. They compete with the best. Burlington's going to need to do a lot tonight to beat them. But as we said right there, a nice little play by Smith, knowing the situation. Don't do anything stupid by throwing it to double coverage. Just goes for a 3-yard run, and it's 3rd and 12. Joe, here's a big opportunity.
Smith fires across the middle to an open man, and that pass is dropped, intended for number 28, Justin Fraser, captain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Nearly a nice connection between the two, but is just tipped by Ryan.
Joe, that was a very similar
in the coverage.
Joe, that was a very similar, as you said, great play by Ryan Colleen to stay on the coverage. That was very similar to the play that ran on 3rd down last time. Burlington, another great play. This time it worked out for them. They blitzed. They got a great pressure on the quarterback. He still made a great throw, and you got to catch that. He had him open. You got to catch it. Ryan Colleen just maybe slightly deterring this, and it's going to be 4th down, Joe.
And nice snap, and plenty of time to kick this one. Line drive punt, a bit of a squib, and it's going to keep rolling. Beautiful field position, and that's going to drop to about the 4-yard line. So the Wildcats with a masterful punt put Burlington in terrible field position.
Yeah, Joe, I would agree. It would not have been the greatest field position anyway, but really, really bad in terms of Burlington right there to get pressure on the punter. He had all day. It looked like he would have thrown the ball. He had so much time. He just took his time, waited until his receiver got down there, just kicked the ball perfectly, and now Burlington, Kyle Pena, under a lot of pressure in this away stadium to get the ball down 96 yards to the end zone. See what he's made of here, Joe.
Pena jogging onto the field here, trying to get his offensive going. In the past 2 games, he's averaged over 40% completion percentage. Not the best, but pretty good for a sophomore quarterback. Starting from their own 4-yard line, Pena lines up back in his red zone. Takes a snap, gives it on the draw, up the middle, and that looks to be O'Halloran as he's going to be tackled for about a 1-yard gain, maybe 2.
It looked like number 27, Jake Doherty on the play right there, who actually on the carry, Joe. Not Ryan O'Halloran. He's a power runner. He's good.
Tough to
Burlington's trying to get out of the end zone area here, trying to get somewhat better field position. That's what they always do. They run the ball. First, don't want to take the risk of a safety here, but sometimes you might want to pass.
Burlington and go back up to Jake Doherty, who takes it up the middle and gets to about the 9-yard line, just about 3 yards short of the 1st down.
Great play there. They same play, except they executed the blocking scheme, but they got Jake Doherty through. There's a looseness, able to get down to the 10-yard line. Very good play to get out of this pressure. Now they could even have the option of throwing here because the safety is the end zone's farther away.
So Wilmington showing a blitz. Pena in a loaded backfield, takes a snap, drops back, fires to his left. Incomplete pass intended for Ryan O'Halloran, who tries to make the leaping grab at around the 15, but that's going to go incomplete, and the Devils are going to bring on their punting unit for the first time of the night, led by Cam Wheelock.
I was a little questioning the play call right there, Joe. I would have had some more receivers go down, do it like a slant route, and maybe a play action pass when you have a great running back. You could try and fake the run and then pass. But Burlington unable to hook up with their great receiver, Ryan O'Halloran, and now we're going to have a great punt from Cam Wheelock.
And looks like we have a timeout, and it's going to be for the Devils. So Burlington's offense going 3 and out after a fantastic punt by the Wildcats. Burlington's offense has had some trouble so far this year, as they've only put up 16 points per game, a division low, so not a great stat to have when you have your quarterback Kyle Pena behind the helm, but he's been improving steadily. And this offense has seen some changes in personnel. Jake Doherty, after a big breakout game last game, having 2 receptions for 74 yards, is going to be on the field. And here is Cam Wheelock. Good protection. Nice and high punt, not too far in the distance, as the ball is going to take a bit of a stumble and roll to about just at the 45-yard line. So that's going to put the Wildcats with fantastic field position.
Yeah, it was a great punt for the field position that he had. He doesn't have a lot of time back there, especially in the end zone. Cam Wheelock been great all year. Nice little punt in the air. And sets up Burlington with not the greatest field position, but a lot better than it could have been.
So it's just 3:17 remaining in the first quarter.
And no score. That's good for Burlington.
So both offenses without putting any points on the board. Wilmington in the shotgun. Here comes Smith. Gives it up the middle to his back, who is tackled for a 0-yard gain on the carry off the halfback draw. Number 26, John Kenny, on the carry. Great tackle up the middle by Burlington's defensive line. I believe John Magada on the stuff.
On the back of Burlington, number 73, Johnson Magada. For the second 11 for the Wildcats.
And the Wildcats offense jogging on here. Smith coming off an impressive win over the Winchester Sachems, 32-17, trying to continue that streak of 2 wins with a victory here in front of the home crowd. Split 3 receivers to the right, and Smith is going to scramble, fire to his man, and the pass is dropped right through the hands, and Jake McCauley making the hit after.
Yeah, Joe, this that play taken by the quarterback. Smith runs to his left, has a lot of receivers open, he passes it off, and a little bit of disruption there, but another ball probably should have been caught off the helmet, out of bounds, and now we're going to have a 3rd and long.
So
Burlington has another chance for a defensive stop here, Joe, and that could be big.
So a 3rd and 11 for the Wildcats. Smith jogging back onto the field after having a discussion with his head coach, Craig Turner, who's been coaching since 2007, leading this team for 10 years, trying to get another winning season in the books. The last time Burlington and Wilmington faced off, the Red Devils won 14-7. Here's Smith rolling in the shotgun, fires to his right, incomplete pass out of bounds, intended for Tyler Roberts. And that's going to bring up the punting unit for the 3rd time of the night.
3rd time tonight, Joe, the punting unit comes on for Wilmington. That's really great for Burlington. They're going to have to get the offense going and capitalize. You know, Wilmington's good offensively. They're not going to give you too many opportunities, and they've already given you 3. It's 3rd time. You might not get the greatest field position, but you've got to make something offensively happen, Kyle Pena. Looking for you to step up, man.
So Wilmington set to punt this one away. O'Halloran is
too much time.
Back man. Oh, it's a terrible punt. Looks like he shanked that one out of bounds at around the 32-yard line. Oh, you don't see that too often, especially from number 5, the quarterback himself, Smith, who just shanked it out of bounds, caught the wrong side of the ball.
Yeah, Joe, I said that before, he's a quarterback himself, so he had all the time in the world. It must have felt awesome for him to have that much time. And unfortunately for him, his punt shanked. Unbelievable.
So the weather pretty favorable so far in this game. Matt, how is that going to play a factor in today's game, given how cold it is out there, but there's really no wind?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a great night. Not too cold. The wind has not been a factor this evening. Burlington, they're still making a run for it. It's still nothing. It's early, and I think they're looking good.
So back to Pena, fires to his left, and the pass is incomplete and intended for his slot receiver. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down. The receiving corps been playing pretty well so far this year. That was Ryan Colhane coming off his injury, making an impact already. And speaking of a player that is not on the squad right now, is number 11, Lucas Trabuco, who's suspended for 3 games for who knows why. Definitely a missing factor, a 6'5" receiver who's definitely been making an impact. Now Pena drops back, pressured up the right side, and he's going to go down. And Wilmington gets the first sack of the game, beating left tackle Chris Jones.
Chris Jones not doing his job right there. As Bill Belichick would say, This defense is answering Burlington's defense. It's defense on defense so far. And this is those bad plays because on the first down, a pass by Pena could have been caught in this 5-yard gain. Those are the type of plays you want to stay within. And now 2nd and 10, you're forced into place to make the team have more time to get to you. Pena goes down, and now it's 3rd and long in almost impossible territory.
So 3rd and 17 indeed for the Red Devils, trying to get something going here after the sack. Giving up. Pena fires on the screen over to O'Halloran. O'Halloran up the middle, goes over to the left side now, still on his feet. Is going to be tackled out of bounds just short of the first down, maybe about 2 yards.
Okay, Joe, this is going to be interesting. If he's short, great play right there, by the way. Set up the screen, get the blocks down. Ryan O'Halloran very elusive, able to get down to the side. 2 yards short, and I really feel that you could play the field position game and put them back in their territory and hope that your defense does great. Or you can go for a second, or you can go for this and try and keep your offensive momentum going, Joe.
So 4th and short, looks like the offense was initially on the field. Not sure what they're going to do here, breaking up out in the huddle. So both defenses being the story of the game so far. We're not too used to hearing that, Nick. This season is the Red Devils have allowed 44 points per game, which is the worst in the Middlesex Freedom Division. So Kyle Pena and his team trying to get some offense going as, Wilmington has allowed 24 points per game, and looks like we have a timeout taken by the Red Devils, their 2nd time out of the game so far.
The score, Burlington 0, Wilmington 0.
Yeah, minute 24 to go, Joe, in the first quarter. All defense so far. And I said before, they could have played a field position game. I think that Burlington's going to think this over. Maybe thinking about field position game, or they're going to set up a great play which can get them a good yard and set up some momentum for Kyle Pena and the offense, which we have seen in games past, like in Watertown, has been able to really get going.
So far in this game, the Devils are 2 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Nick, definitely a much better percentage considering last game where they were 0 for 5. How is that going to affect the score when you can convert on 3rd downs offensively?
Yeah, 3rd downs keep drives alive, and you have to keep your offense on the field during 3rd down. It helps your defense get rested. It helps the defense play better. They are able to come out with more aggression themselves. And you just get a rhythm offensively going when you convert, when you keep the chains moving. And then hopefully you can end in the end zone.
I agree with you, Nick. When the offense struggles, so does the defense. So I definitely feel like if Burlington's 3rd down conversions can get to a higher percentage, they can complete more, will affect both sides of the football.
You'll see
Burlington rolling out the line of scrimmage, as this is most likely going to be a quarterback sneak. Pena takes it up the middle, dives into the pile, and they're going to most likely have to measure this one out.
Looks close.
Waiting for the signal. Looks like he nearly got it.
Yeah, they were running that all the way, Joe. They knew it, and they're going to call it a 1st down.
And it's going to be a 1st down, so they had to come out and measure it, but what a great play by Pena. Everyone was expecting it, just was able to get through the pile, bringing up a 1st down and a new set of downs for the Red Devils offense.
This looks like a play Carolina Panthers would use in the NFL, super cam. Just take the ball and let the strong man run through your offensive line, and he gets a 1st down, barely, but he gets it, and that's effective.
So the halfback, Jake Doherty, with Kyle Pena in the shotgun. Receivers split out to the right side include Ryan O'Halloran and Mike Paveo. Pena has some time, pressured up the middle, avoids a man, fires over to O'Halloran out of the flat, and is tackled at the 50-yard line, but looks like we have a penalty on the field.
Yeah, Joe might be coming back, always in the offensive holding area. But great, and even though it is offensive holding, it was good awareness by Pena to move out of the pile, move away from danger. Might have been helped a little bit by holding on the offense, which it is going to be back. But Ryan O'Halloran able to elude defenders and get to the sideline. And unfortunately, climb back.
That's going to be a 10-yard. That's going to be a holding penalty against Chris Jones. We spoke of him before, Nick. Number 54, Chris Jones, the left tackle, sophomore, had a pretty bad game against the Watertown Red Raiders, not to call him out, allowing 2 sacks against the dominant defensive end, Tom Landry. And last game against the Wakefield Warriors didn't allow any sacks, but allowed a lot of pressure on Kyle Pena. So his role will definitely have an impact on how today's game goes out, because your left tackle position is very valuable when it comes to protecting the quarterback.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, the Patriots, we've learned that all too well. Too many sacks, and this is hopefully going to get better. And Kyle Pena could be protected on 1st and 20. I presume a screen pass.
And after the 15-yard penalty, Pena fires to his man, caught out of bounds, picking up about 11 yards. And
Pena's pass is complete to Jake McCauley.
that's Jake McCauley, number 7, the sophomore, picking up 10 yards, negating that penalty. So a great gain for the Red Devils right there, firing over the top on the corner route.
Yeah, Joe, that's really neat. You don't want to get in 2nd and 20 where the plays become predictable for the offense. You want to get those 10 yards back immediately, just like pretend like the first down holding penalty never happened, and now they got a chance.
With under a minute remaining in the first quarter, Pena takes the snap, has an extra blocker, fires over to the left, incomplete pass intended for number 4, Ryan Cohane, as it sails over his head, bringing up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Ryan Cohane has come in just recently, Joe. The chemistry might not be there as much as Ryan Cohane as there is with other receivers of Kyle Pena. It was not a bad pass, and it was the best he really could do. He might have been able to put some more air under it. Unfortunately, goes over Ryan Cohane's head, not running on the same page, and Burlington's going to be faced with 3rd and 10.
Wilmington employing a cover 2 defense, as Burlington's offense is definitely going to try to exploit it with some drag routes across the center of the field.
Oh my God.
And looks like we're going to have a timeout. And Burlington's going to take their 3rd timeout of the game, a 30-second timeout. So coming up on this drive, Burlington's offense moving the chains pretty well despite that early penalty by Chris Jones.
You're moving the chains, and Burlington right now taking another timeout, trying to figure out what they're going to do offensively, trying to run a scheme, or maybe think about, okay, maybe we got 4th down before, maybe we can get another 4th down. This has been a pretty sustained drive where Burlington's defense is getting some rest, which is a positive, getting field position, Joe, which is good, and now Burlington has a chance to get some yards and maybe put themselves in 4th down territory.
Pena in the gun, takes a snap, fires on the screen to O'Halloran, and the pass is dropped, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Not really sure what the play calling there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the screen pass, and Burlington now it's going to be forced to punt here, and that's a devastator, but at least Burlington got some yards and changed the field position significantly if Cam Wheelock is able to do what he's done so many times and get a good punt.
So Cam Wheelock coming onto the field at around the 32-yard line to try to kick this one away. And lined up in the back for Wilmington. Only a couple, no extra blockers here for the Red Devils on the special teams unit. And that's a high snap, nearly over the heads of Wheelock. Just gets the kick away. It is blocked by Wilmington. Number 46 is going to return it, and he's going to jog into the end zone after a great special teams play by the Wildcats. And the Burlington Red Devils, Nick, to say the least, just blew their blocking assignments.
Sure. No, I totally disagree. But our blocking assignment is not in hell. That is 100% on the snapper. So many times this season, Cam Wheelock has a good punt, and he has not been getting the snaps he needs. The snap is way too high. It delays the time about 2 seconds, which is deadly in football. And then by that time, way too many, 2 players were surrounding Cam Wheelock, and the punt was blocked, taken over nowhere, know where the ball is. No man's land, Burlington's momentum completely gone and vanquished in the midair. Horrible, and now we're down 7-0.
So a 42-yard punt block run back for a touchdown is made here, and the kick is up. And it's straight through the right uprights, making the score 7-0 after the first special teams points allowed by Burlington so far this year. Not a great drive so far for the not a great play for the Red Devils so far, Matt.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Wilmington blocked that kick there, and they managed to get a touchdown right before the first quarter, and Burlington all of a sudden is trailing.
It's a devastator. I mean, you're playing well. You're playing well in the road game against a good team, Wilmington, putting up a fight. And these are the things that are hurting them. I mean, stupid mistakes. This is a special teams one. Offensively, defensively, not bad so far. Defensively, especially. On them, on special teams, one bad, and they're going to get good field position if they let just Cam Wheelock a good snap. It's so easy. You get a good snap. Cam Wheelock gets the ball all the way down there, and we're not talking about this. But these plays have got the Burlington Red Devils down 7-0, 13-0 in games this year.
So Bishop making the score, and now he's going to kick this one off from about the 40-yard line. Back deep for the Red Devils is Ryan O'Halloran and Jake Dory, as this kick return team is one of the top in the league, putting up 27 points per game, and that kick is squibbed to about the 30-yard line, out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty. And that's going to move the Red Devils up to the 40-yard line as the kick settles out of bounds.
The flag down on the play.
I don't know about the decision there, Joe. That looks like a pretty bad special teams play by Wilmington. I mean, what was the kickoff? Looked like they're trying to pooch kick it or something, but that's way too. Burlington, he's not going to be fooled by that. They're not going to touch the ball. It's going to go out of bounds, and now you set Burlington up at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, not a great special teams play there by the kicker, Bishop, who we saw on the punt earlier. Not a great play. So must have probably hit a different part of his foot, maybe his shoelace, and went out of bounds. Nonetheless, looks like they're going to do this one over. So 5-yard penalty instead, different from the NFL.
Yeah, different from the NFL, excuse me.
And that's going to go back 5 yards, so the Burlington will have a chance to run this back a bit more. And Bishop set to do this one over. Could be employing the same strategy.
He looks like it with his body position.
Takes his steps.
Yes, he is.
Squibs it to about the 30-yard line. And that ball was picked up by Doherty. Doherty takes the block and knocked down at the 30-yard line. No gain. Tackle made by number 43, Bailey Smith, the sophomore.
Yeah, I think that Wilmington understands how great Burlington's, one of the highlights of the year for Burlington, the return game, as you told me, Joe. The return game is good this year, so they're respecting that, and they're not going to kick it deep and give the Burlington a chance to set up blocks and get their good offensive players running. They're going to pooch it, and they're going to get to you first, even if it costs them an extra 10 yards. They're going to leave it to their defense and hope they make plays.
Burlington 2 kick returns for touchdowns this season so far, both coming in the game against Woburn, one by Jake Doherty and one against Ryan Hohauerin, who are employed in this offense, jogging onto the field now, led by Kyle Pena, trying to get things going, who's currently 2 for 6 with a 33% completion percentage.
See what he does.
Wilmington showing a 4-man rush in a cover 1. Pena drops back, pressured up the sides, scrambling, fires to his right, pass is completed to Culhane, who picks up the first down and more across the 46-yard line.
Okay, Joe, this is exactly what we need from Kyle Pena. This is what we saw in the second quarter, and this is going to run out the first quarter, but this is what we need to see from them. This is what we saw in the good times of Kyle Pena, when he's aware in the pocket. He saw that he had pressure, so he moved out of the pocket. He had a wide open Ryan Culhane. He hit right in the numbers, over the top of the defender coming in his face. Great play right there, Joe, to get a first down and get some momentum to start the second quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter as the Red Devils are down 7-0 against the Wilmington Wildcats here at Wilmington High School. If you missed it, the Red Devils gave up a blocked punt return for a touchdown on the Cam Wheelock punt. So Wildcats leading 7-0 right now. Burlington's defense not the best in the league yet to concede any points so far. If you're just tuning into BCAT sports coverage, I'm Joe Viscioni with Nick Bongiorno and Matt DiMarzio. As this game has been a very close one so far tonight, as many people have not predicted it. And coming into this one, the Daily Times predicted Wilmington winning this game, I believe, by an incredible 30 points. Not too surprising considering their selections last week, as they picked Burlington to lose by 27 against the Warriors.
Burlington's offense a chance at the second quarter to get something going, Joe. I mean, now with even they're in good field position again, one block punts the difference in this game. They've been playing well. Let's show it with some good offense and some magic from Kyle Pena. I believe they'll do it from here.
So as the offense switches fields and is going to have it at about the 48-yard line with a brand new set of downs and a fresh new clock into the second quarter. Pena with O'Halloran in motion, gives it on the sweep. O'Halloran nearly wrapped up, still on his feet, making a man miss, and is tackled for no gain.
I would question the play call a little bit there, Joe. I mean, I think right now with the way that Kyle Pena's passing the ball, you keep passing it. The run game is not being effective so far, not getting too many yards. Screen game, the short passes, Wilmington's all over it. If you're going to get something out of this game, you're going to need to be taking chances down the field.
So Cody Davidson with Pena in the backfield as they're realizing the O'Halloran combo hasn't been working so far. Pena more of a power back. Davidson.
Pressure.
Pena is pressured up the left side and sacked for the second time of the night by number 4, Tyler Roberts, on the edge linebacker blitz.
Yeah, Joe, that's a great play right there. You can't deny anything about that. Obviously, the offensive line collapsed again, but the great defensive pressure by Wilmington's D-line, front seven, going right up on Kyle Pena from behind, and he has nowhere to run. Blitz, yeah, he has nowhere to run, and he gets sacked. Now it's a really bad situation.
So we're 3rd and 15, a second straight 3rd and long on this drive. Pena drops back, pressured on the screen, fires it over to O'Halloran on the design play, who's dropped it around the 51-yard line. So That play nearly worked out as it looked like it was a screen pass, and if not, Wilmington got right to Pena.
Yeah, Burlington.
It looks like a nearly Bryce Petty Nakamura super would have happened on a hit.
Joe, I would say that Burlington maybe is a little bit intimidated by Wilmington's D line. They're not really going for the long passes too much because they have seen what Wilmington's capable of doing to them if they do, and unfortunately for them, it's costing them. And they're going to go for it here, but they're going to do something. They're going to have to do something a lot better than just a little simple screen pass to get past them.
I agree with you, Nick. Burlington's offensive line definitely weighing all under 200
go
pounds.
again.
Definitely having an issue. Pena throws to the left side, and that pass looks to be caught by Ryan Colhane on the reception. His third of the game, definitely having a fantastic start.
I couldn't really see it too well there, Joe. I don't know. It might have been one of those, it might have maybe somewhat bounced off the ground, and obviously we don't have replay. It might have somewhat taken a bounce ball. Ryan Colhane, great effort to make sure that it looked like he caught it. Maybe he did catch it. And Burlington, nonetheless, Joe doesn't care. They're going to get good field position, keep the ball moving with 1st and 10.
So Burlington trying to set up a new play call. They have Jake Doherty and Cody Davidson in the backfield lined up in the offset I formation. Pena takes the high snap, gives it over to Doherty, who is rocked at the line of scrimmage and brought down for what looks to be a 4 to 5 yard loss.
Yeah, this is the run game. This is the D-line. The D-line is great, just pressure-wise and stopping the run. Nothing on rise tonight from Burlington. And Jay Doherty, he gets destroyed. His size is not really helping that. He gets destroyed right there, and he might want to go for some ice.
And Dylan McKinnon, the guard, who just got blown by his respective defensive tackle, was able to eat up Doherty at the line of scrimmage. Pena trying to make a play on 2nd and long. Has Davidson and Doherty yet again in the backfield. Takes the snap. Pena drops back, pressured in the pocket, fires across the center of the field. Oh, and the pass is caught by O'Halloran on the tip, and that is in for the touchdown. Ryan O'Halloran a bit lucky on that one, and the Red Devils get into the end zone for the first time.
A bit? I don't know about a bit there, Joe. Kyle Pena fell again, the pressure, and that's unbelievable. He fell off the pressure. He whips it up into, I don't know what, quadruple coverage, and Wilmington, no one gets their hands on it. One little deflection. It went right through his hands, almost in a pick, and it goes right to O'Halloran running down the seam. God's gift to O'Halloran.
And Wheelock set to kick this one up.
What a good kick.
And it's easily through the uprights and more. Could have made it from about 30 more back. As the Red Devils are going to even the score at 7 apiece with 5 remaining in the second quarter.
And, Joe, I think that's fair enough. I mean, you're going to get lucky. You're not going to get lucky. Burlington didn't get lucky on the play and that got them down 7-0. They had a good fight. They deserved to be tied. Wilmington not doing enough. I think Wilmington, they could play better than this. They definitely have the power to outclass Burlington in this show, but not doing it enough. And Burlington, with their will tonight, tie a game, Joe. You never know what can happen.
So Pena nearly throwing his second pick of the game. An earlier one was thrown on their second drive. Nonetheless, fires into quadruple coverage, nearly picked off by Tyler Roberts, but O'Halloran is going to get his 4th receiving touchdown of the season. The sophomore has had a breakout year for this team, including 2 weeks ago where he put up 225 yards from scrimmage, breaking a Burlington record for a sophomore running back. So definitely a fantastic start for the Red Devils right now offensively, as Wheelock is set to kick this one off from the 40-yard line as we're midway through the second quarter of Week 6 of school football action. Wheelock, who's mostly squibs, is going to squib this one to about the 35. And the knee is taken at the 35, so the Wildcats are going to start from in their own side of the field.
Yeah, he took a knee right there. The right thing to do. Water pressure. A perfectly timed kick by Cam Wheelock and placed in the air. Just enough hand time to make him take the knee. And it's not the greatest field position for Burlington defensively as they get that 35-yard line, as opposed to maybe if Cam Wheelock boots it as hard as he can, as we know, soccer players' skill. Could have got them down to the 15 at the 35, and Burlington's defense has a chance to step up.
So Burlington hasn't been hit with too many penalties so far, only 2 on the defense this season.
Just out the run game.
Encroachment, and starting the run game is Keeney, who picks up about 2 or 3 yards on the halfback draw up the middle.
That was a
Up
great
second and down.
Yeah, that was a great play right there by Burlington, not letting the run game to affect them. Only about 2 yard run right there. And these are the type of plays you need to keep from going down from like 8 or 9 yards, so that you can set the tone defensively as opposed to being controlled offensively.
And Burlington getting set up here in the nickel back formation, employing 5 players in the secondary. Burlington showing a weak side blitz by McGilvery. And that is going to be Keeney up the middle, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard or 2 on the carry.
Bit of 3rd and 5, Joe.
Roberts carries for a gain of 2.
Looks like that was actually Roberts, number 4, the senior captain on the carry. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for this Wildcat offense, who has yet to been successful, putting up 0 points so far in the 2 combined quarters.
Burlington's defense has been holding, Joe. It's 3rd and 5, another chance to get them off the field.
Smith in the shotgun.
Oh.
Takes the snap, and looks like we have a flag on the field. And it's a false start.
They're complaining that they jumped, but it's going to be on the
False
offense.
start against the offense, so that's going to bring it to a 3rd and 10.
Penalties, illegal procedure against Wilmington.
And Wilmington gets hit with that illegal procedure call.
3rd down and 10.
So 3rd and 10. So it just makes it easier for the Red Devils defense to try to get a stop here.
No, you can. No, that is huge, because now you basically take out the screen pass. You take out the run possibility of a quarterback. It's a lot harder for him, at least. And Burlington has a chance to stop the pass.
Head coach Craig Turner not happy with the offensive call, having a couple words with the referee. Burlington showing an A-gap blitz.
Oh, nice.
Smith back to the shotgun, flipped, and he's going to run it himself up the sideline. Smith picking up more yards and runs out of bounds. Looks like he's going to pick up the 1st on the quarterback scramble, showing his mobility.
Oh, Joe, what I jinxed it. I mean, I thought he couldn't run for that much. The blitz almost worked. The coverage was dead on by Burlington, and he had nowhere else to run. Burlington at that point might have as well. When he got past the line of scrimmage, you can't throw him. Probably could have done a better job of closing it down. Unfortunately, was not able to, Joe. And as someone took a huge Barbie doll flip in the pile.
And I agree with you, Nick, that to some extent, Burlington definitely has had some trouble keeping contained and keeping the quarterback in the pocket. And when you have most mobile quarterbacks, especially like Graham Smith, that's what he did, and just hit you real hard like a Russell Wilson play with a big gain. Now up the middle is the fullback carry as Roberts picking up space, accelerating, no one to beat, and is in for the touchdown on the 55-yard rushing touchdown for Tyler Roberts.
How fast does a game of football change? I mean, from a 3rd and 10 on a really should have been a blitz, should have been stopped for another punt. They get out of it. Burlington not a good job holding and containing the quarterback Smith. And the next thing you know, they run the ball, which they haven't been successful at all night, and they get one good block, and that acceleration bursting through, Joe, and no one's going to catch him.
So Burlington has allowed 150-yard rush or more in every regular season game so far this season. Now the kick is up.
No good.
And it is no good past the left upright. As number 6, Adam Bishop couldn't knock it through, making it a 13-7 lead with 5:45 remaining in the 2nd quarter. The Red Devils only down by 6. Matt, not a great defensive possession, especially when it comes to stopping the run for the Red Devils.
You know, the struggles continue with Burlington.
And Nick,
you know,
what do the Red Devils? What can the Red Devils do to improve their defense by stopping the run?
Joe, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, that run defense has not been very good all year. They finally have a bit of a formula with Nick Campbell and Sean McGilvery, and that was working. It was just sometimes it's really hard to contain, and sometimes really hard to interpret plays, and that might have broken down a little bit.
Let me just say, Nick, I agree with you right there, because definitely I also got to think that it is the defensive alignment running the 4-2-5 when you take a linebacker and place one in the secondary, making you susceptible to the run. And given 80% of the plays in high school football are runs, it's definitely pretty tough to stop it.
And it wasn't like Burlington was doing a bad job stopping it. I mean, they got one bad break. And here's a chance, Joe. I'm not going to focus on that bad play. Let's focus on what the offense can do.
And Bishop on the kick over to Ryan O'Halloran, fields it at the 25, getting up the right sideline, still on his feet. O'Halloran making a man miss and tackled at the 34-yard line.
Ryan O'Halloran, want to be careful there, man. Running through the pile, and making some moves, might bust a hip.
O'Halloran definitely was skill running in the family. Had brothers Pat O'Halloran and Shane O'Halloran, tight end and fullback for this Red Devil team in the past. They were definitely stars. Now jogging onto the field is Kyle Pena trying to get things going offensively, Nick, and he hasn't had the greatest game so far. Got lucky on the earlier drive. So
got one lucky play. He has been okay sometimes running out of the pocket. Not the same Kyle Pena I saw a couple weeks ago. And I do believe that sometimes in the clutch he can deliver. And I think that right now he has to put a long drive to get that close to the game, that close to the half out, and maybe gets a touchdown to put them in the lead.
Wildcats, 4-man defensive run. Pena takes the snap, gives it, and is going to take it himself on the read option up the middle and tackle for what looks to be a 2 or 3 yard gain, bringing up a second down.
Yeah, the read option was going to get completely destroyed by 2 defenders breaking through the offensive line yet again. So Pena does a smart thing. He runs through, gets a couple yards instead of a 2-yard loss.
And Burlington's offensive line, Nick, so far in this game being outmatched, and you have to wonder, is it definitely just because of the size that the Red Devils are pretty low weight in that regard?
Yeah, they say the Devil is always pretty low, so always very small guy.
Burlington takes the snap. Pena is going to be sacked for the 3rd time of the night, coming around the edge by the Wildcats. And Wilmington recovers after the hit on Pena, and that was Chris Jones who gave up the sack. We spoke of him earlier in the game, having a nightmare start in the first half.
Chris Jones, another horrible play right there, letting his man get way too by way too easily. And unfortunately, Joe, I thought for a second he held on to the ball. No one was making a huge reaction. I was going to ask how he held on, and unfortunately he didn't hang on.
Yeah.
Not like the Aaron Rodgers super hand strength. And Burlington is going to need to get stopped.
Brendan Rogers with the sack, now at the 32-yard line. Smith takes the snap, drops back on the play option.
Touchdown.
He's going to roll to his right, fires on the jump pass and the pass is dropped. Intended for Tyler Roberts. Looks like he nearly caught that one, but that's going to bring up a second down. And what a throwing motion by Smith.
Joe, yeah, I always question sometimes when the quarterback runs out to one side and he has to throw back across his body. Not always a great formula for success. That time a great throw, and first almost like it was going to be caught. Just Ryan O'Halloran did just enough to disrupt the momentum, and he knocked it out. So a good play right there, and Burlington's going to need to be a lot better, not letting this quarterback, this amount of a talent, to go in the pocket.
So O'Halloran doing pretty good in his first game at cornerback for the Red Devils, setting up in press coverage. Smith takes a snap, pressured up the right side, is going to scramble, fires up the middle for number 26, and that pass is caught, and he's in for the touchdown. And the Wildcats take a 19-7 lead on the beautiful go route up the middle by number 26, John Kenny.
Yes, it was unfortunate there, Joe. I think I'll go for 2 here, maybe try and get this lead established. But again, same play. Burlington has to do a better job interpreting it. They just had that play, and when they see what the formation was, obviously I'm not the expert at that, but when they see themselves, they study this all the time. They see the formation. You got to understand, you cannot let the quarterback this athletic out of the pocket and not expect something bad to happen. Players are going to get open. They did right there, and it's a touchdown.
Nick, what I think really happened on that play is, actually no, here we go. Smith on the draw over.
That's 2.
Smith is going to take it himself up the sideline and wrapped up out of bounds by the Red Devils. Ryan O'Halloran, the lead tackler, denying them of the 2-point conversion, making it 19-7. So Nick, I agree with you on that play. The free safety, I believe Jake McCauley just wasn't able to get to his man, wasn't in the right space, and couldn't be there on the coverage and couldn't make the tackle, allowing an easy touchdown for the Wildcats as they're currently up by 12 points.
Yeah, luckily it's not 14. They missed a couple of conversions, so 19-7 is still a chance. Obviously, Joe, nothing's out. This game, they could shift it back in Burlington's favor. The offense has definitely been a problem tonight. They need to get that going. Pena is looking like Tom Brady back there. Not the good way. He's looking at Tom Brady in the sense that his offensive line is not letting him throw the ball at all.
Yeah, the Patriots allowed 17 sacks so far this year, and Pena's been hit 7 times so far this season and brought down 3 times already in this game as the Wilmington pass rush has been able to get to Burlington at will. And Nick, the interesting part is that on most of their pass rushing downs, the the Wildcats, haven't even been blitzing. They've been playing a 4-man rush and still being able to get after the quarterback.
That's tragic. That's horrible by the offensive line. They're going to need to get their stuff together.
Now here's Bishop, and this is O'Halloran on the carry. O'Halloran picking up some space and tackled out of bounds just past the 30-yard line.
Goodbye, O'Halloran right there. Get some extra yards, get to the 35-yard line. But it doesn't matter what field position you have if you don't use it, Burlington needs to pass protect. Cal Pena, if he has some time, as we said before, we've seen it before, he will do some things. But if you give him no time, it's going to be the same for every quarterback. You're not going to do no good enough.
So Ryan O'Halloran with a 21-yard kick return gain there, and Burlington's offense for the 5th time of the night trying to get something going here with 4:27 remaining. Plenty of time left on the clock to get a final drive offensively. The Red Devils already used up 3 timeouts so far, so not too much availability there when it comes to stopping the clock. Pena has Davidson in the shotgun to his right. Pena takes the snap, is going to do a read option sneak up the middle, is going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And number 11, Brendan Ross on the tackle, not fooled there.
No, Joe, and that's again the offensive line. Wilmington has identified the weakness really early on, and they have been completely obliterating Burlington's offensive line. Breaking through. Pena has to go take the ball basically and start running for his life. That's what he did there. Wasn't even designed. Ryan O'Halloran was wide open running down, and he had no time to get the ball thrown off.
And I'm not really sure by the play calling so far as the Red Devils line back in the shotgun.
Bringing pressure.
4-man rush. Pena has time. Pressured on the right side. Fired to O'Halloran, and that pass just goes incomplete, sailing over the right of his hands. And if he made that grab, he would have been free for the end zone. Nonetheless, bringing up a 3rd down.
Joe, this is the type of plays you're going to need. And this is the type of plays Ryan O'Halloran comes with clutch, and you need him to come out clutch. You cannot drop that. These are going to be the plays. Because, as we said before, there's no way that this offensive line is going to get better tonight. And it's not going to happen. We've seen it. They're trying everything. They're trying to keep the tight end and trying to give him a block.
Drops.
He's not doing it. And those passes need to be caught, and Pena throws it right on the money.
Cover 2 defense for the Wildcats. Pena pressured again up the middle, and he is going to be wrapped up as the ball pops out loose. And Pena wrapped up and pressured by number 11, I believe, Brendan Ross, who's been getting after the quarterback all game today.
Pena is getting hit after hit after hit. This is the worst I've seen it in high school football. Every play, pressure, and it's getting worse each play.
And we walk back at around the 15-yard line, getting set to punt this one away for the 3rd time of the night. Hopefully a block doesn't happen like the last time Burlington tried to do it. Hoping for a better snap, and that one would have been perfect, but looks like they might have been trying to do a 30-second timeout, so we see a lot of jinxing the kicker. Looks like that could have been jinxing the long snapper, Nick.
Joe, I mean, when they call a timeout right when Burlington gets a good snap, and pretty shocking right now. Burlington got a horrible snap on the next play. I don't know if Coach McKay really wanted to take a timeout. You're not going to have enough time, because if you get the ball back, you wasted a timeout right there. And it's going to be bad.
And Wilmington loading out the line of scrimmage. Wewalk nearly blocked, gets the punt away, and it drops it around the 50. And it's going to keep rolling as Burlington stops it at the 45 for the 2nd time of the night. Same field position as the Wildcats. Have it with 3:25 remaining as the Red Devils go 3 and out with their drive going just under a minute 30. And their defense comes onto the field after allowing 2 touchdowns so far in the first half.
Burlington's going to need some plays by the defense now. You can't allow touchdowns every play. You got to go back to what you're doing before that was working against them. Stop the run. Make sure the quarterback's contained. Don't let him outside the pocket by like 100 yards like they did on 2 straight plays, which led to touchdown.
And I think when it comes to keeping the quarterback in the pocket, Nick, you need to really blitz the quarterback. We saw earlier in the game Sean McGilvery do a weak side blitz off the left side and really be able to apply the pressure on Graham Smith, allowing him not to scramble out of the pocket. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with McGilvery, because he can drop back into coverage, but it hasn't been successful so far.
Joe, I'm just going to say one thing. Look at Wilmington. In terms of their defense.
Smith on the sweep gives it up. Gives it up to Kenny as the ball is taken to about for 8 yards on the carry, as you were saying, Nick.
Yeah, Joe, you got to stop the run, and I definitely think that this is about getting a turnover. I mean, turnover on downs, turnover fumble, turnover interception, something to get the offense.
So Graham Smith back in the shotgun after an 8-yard gain by Kenny. Smith takes it up the middle on the quarterback keeper and picks up the first down and many more on the run straight up the middle.
Which is good for another Wilmington first down.
Yeah, I think that the announcer maybe wanted someone to say first down in the stands, but they're not going to do it. High school football, not Major League football.
And just under 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter, the Red Devils trying to prevent another score for the Wildcats, who are 4-1 on the season. And another quarterback keeper play who's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by it looks to be number
Josh Lee.
Number 20, Josh Lee, on the tackle, breaking into the line of scrimmage and making the grab. So Josh Lee with a great play, slotting into safety right now.
Graham Smith on the keeper. Tagged out for a short gain. He's second down 9 for Wilmington.
And Lee, despite only being 155 pounds, makes the tackle on Keeney, the running back, who weighs over 200. And here comes Graham Smith in the gun, 2nd and 9. Takes the snap, pressured, has time, throws it across the middle, and that pass is intercepted by the Red Devils as both of the players collided. Ryan Colhane, it looked like Jake McCulley.
Burlington's number 27, Jake Doherty.
Number 7, Jake Doherty, everywhere on the field, offensive and defensively, making the interception despite colliding with free safety Ryan Colhane.
Joe, whoa, what a team collision right there. Man-on-man hit. And I said before, we're going to need a turnover to spark something. A turnover is good. Burlington's got their turnover, and now the offense has to contribute. But on that play, on the interception, great interception, and then he just unfortunately ran right into the guy. It looked like they're both going to get some birds were flying around their heads.
So Burlington starting at the 25-yard line. Pena with another chance, takes a snap, pressured from all sides, fires on the screen to O'Halloran, picking up some blockers, bursting into the secondary, and tackled at the 39-yard line, picking up the first down.
Kyle Pena, I can't help but laugh, Joe. I mean, it's also bad for him, but he's running for his life every play. Every play, you have like 4 guys in his face, the poor kid. For a sophomore, that's a lot of pressure on the road. And this offensive line not doing a lot of help. Anyway, great play right there to flip it over them, and then blocks that they needed to get were good for once. And Ryan O'Halloran, with the elusiveness with the blocks, got the first down.
Pena takes the snap, pressured up the right side, fires the pass to Ryan Colhane, who reaches out his right hand, incomplete. Couldn't make the Odell Beckham Jr.-like grab out of bounds, and that's going to stop the clock with 1:21 remaining in the drive.
1:21, Joe. This is about what solid and mentally tough teams are made of. If you can get a touchdown here, it'd be huge momentum change going to the second half.
And the Patriots trying to channel their inner, the
Devils
trying to channel their inter-Patriot-esque and try to get some late quarter drives. Late blitz by Wilmington, and that pass is incomplete as Pena throws it low and misses O'Halloran open, and that is definitely on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's on the quarterback, Joe. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get affected on how you throw based upon the pressure in the game. It happens to the greats. You get affected. I mean, if you get hit so many times, you're going to be wary. You're going to not throw the ball as good. And Burlington's quarterback surely shows some of that there. He had him open, and that should have been a good first down for Ryan O'Halloran, and it's going to turn into a third down, which is very predictable for the defense.
Pena takes the snap. Stacked receivers to the left.
There you go.
Pressured, and he is sacked for the 4th time of the night. And it looks like that is number 4, Tyler Roberts, picking up his second one in the game so far. Blown by guard Johnson Magada. Bringing up a 4th down for the Red Devils as Cameron Wewalk and their punting unit comes onto the field yet again.
This is another thing. Past mistakes hurt you, especially when you go back 2 seconds. You, on the last play, Kyle Pena, you have to make that play because it would be a third down, but then you get thrown into a play where it's going to be third down, and that's how very predictable for 3rd and long. And I don't think that the receivers can get anywhere close to 10 yards down the field, Joe, with the way that the offensive line is protecting Kyle Pena.
And Burlington already allowed 4 sacks in this game, tied for already how many sacks Burlington has allowed in every other game so far, so definitely showing how faulty their pass protection has been. Both towns' bands getting ready to come onto the field at halftime. The award followed by the Red Devils award-winning marching band and dance squad. Also Wilmington boasting a pretty good side of their own. As both teams are about set to break out of the huddle, Burlington trying to get on the board for the second time of the night. Kyle Pena not playing too well tonight, Nick, after missing a couple passes for his receivers, throwing it a bit low, trying to get something going here with just a minute remaining. And
yeah, Joe, I mean, it's been not good tonight, but hopefully they can get turned around in the second half. Right now, they're going to have no choice but to bring Cam Wheelock on.
And 4th and 10.
Let's see, Joe, maybe there's going to be a good snap.
Wheelock punting for the second time in the last 4 minutes. And waiting for the snap. That's a beauty. And Wheelock, plenty of time, gets a nice kickoff to about the 40 over his heads. And number 28 on the carry, and he's wrapped up at around the 46-yard line. Return made by
John Kenny to
so Kenny
his own 45-yard line.
picking up about 16 yards on the return.
Very iffy also on the blocking there. He almost got blocked again, but he's able to get it off like a great punter he is, Cam Wheelock. And 55 seconds, Joe, they're not going to kneel the ball at all considering their offense.
And I spoke
they're going to go for this.
And I spoke to Cam Wheelock, who was a dominant soccer player, told me that punting the football is definitely a lot different than punting the soccer ball, as there's one sweet spot that you have to kick on the football opposed to the soccer ball. So Smith in the gun, 2 receivers split out to each side, has Kenny in the backfield, drops back on the screen, fires to Kenny, who's wide open out of the flat. Kenny picking up the first down and more, bursting into the secondary. Jake Doherty to beat, and he's wrapped up. Doherty with the touchdown saving tackle at around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Joe, that was... It looked like he might have, the quarterback, Smith, might have actually been sacked for once, but he's able to do a great job with the setup play. They burst right through. He gets it off. And unbelievable blocking, unbelievable cut to the outside, and Jake Doherty with the saving tackle. But unfortunately, 43 seconds in this offense, Joe, I don't know, it doesn't look good.
Smith already showing his advanced mobility in this ball game. And here is Smith in the loaded backfield, Wildcat formation. Takes a snap, gives it over on the draw, is going to be a quarterback option play, and he's going to be dragged out of bounds by the jersey at around the 7-yard line, picking up about 4.
Cole Smith's carry is good for a gain of 5.
Excuse me, that was actually Cole Smith on the draw. The quarterback Smith on the draw. And Wilmington takes a timeout, stopping the clock at 31 seconds, trying to get their final score before the first half concludes. And Burlington's defense trying not to allow their 4th score of the game and of the second quarter. In the first quarter, the teams were both scoreless. Despite that special teams error by the Red Devils was led to a touchdown by Kenny on the block. Now Smith and his offense trying to get into the red zone for the 4th time of the second half.
It's big here, Joe, if they can hold them to no points, because they definitely wouldn't try a field goal unless they really rely on the kicker that much.
Craig Turner, the head coach, trying to design up a play for his offense. Smith in the gun has Kenny and his fullback. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Smith fires on the slant route, and that pass falls incomplete. Intended for a look to be number 7.
Pass is incomplete.
Number 7, intended for wide receiver Tyler Roberts on the drop. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6, 25 seconds remaining.
25 seconds left, Joe. That was a great play. Jumped up really high. And to get that, I mean, he almost intercepted it. He read it well and blocked that pass, and this is a big play coming up.
So Smith on the 3rd down, trying to get something going for his offense. Takes the snap. He's going to jog it himself. Plenty of time, scrambling to his right. Fires, and that pass is caught for the touchdown. Number 26, Kenny with his 2nd receiving touchdown of the night. And that's going to make the score 25-7 in favor of the Wildcats in the first half.
Yeah, Joe, that was bad defensively. I mean, it's not good. You had to make adjustments during the game. And letting the quarterback go out the same place for a touchdown, the exact same touchdown, basically, Joe, is what they threw before. Let him go out to the right and have all the time in the world to throw, and he's never going to miss. So it's 25-7 with a chance for a 2-point.
Burlington's defense struggling mightily in the stopping the run so far. And here is Kenny, who is wrapped up and the ball is loose. And Burlington, one of the highlights of their defense so far tonight has been stopping the Wildcats on 2 two-point conversions. So Wilmington up 25-7 at Wilmington High School. The home crowd definitely getting going here. The Wildcats 4-1 on the season, trying to get their 5th in the win column, while Burlington is still searching for their 1st. Led by head coach Dan McKay, who definitely hasn't had the greatest start to the season, trying to get his team going as they've definitely had the disadvantages of learning a new playbook, and that could be a reason why the Devils are down so far in tonight's game. And the Red Devils defense has been struggling tonight, as they have been throughout the whole season, allowing 44 points per game, already 25 points on the board in the first half. As Bishop is going to get set to kick this one off from the 40.
18 seconds left. I mean, I would just regroup, get a kneel down, and go and hopefully get something in the second half, Joe. Probably going to kick this far.
And Bishop gonna, as you would, Nick, probably gonna blast this one back. Nonetheless, it's a squib, the exact opposite. And that is Davidson up the field and tackled at the 50-yard line on the squib. Speaking of taking a kneel, Nick, I don't think that's going to happen given the field position.
Joe, I mean, I think this is stupid. Sometimes the squib kick, it hurts sometimes. Why won't you give them field position at the 50-yard line instead of just kicking the ball deep and then just making them take a knee with, like, obviously no chance to have good field position? This is a 50-yard. If they get a couple yards, they could set up a really potentially long field goal attempt or maybe even a Hail Mary.
Well, Nick, what I definitely see here is that Wilmington has been watching their film. They've been studying. They can see the big returns by Jake Doherty and Ryan O'Halloran, and they don't want to test the Red Devils. They've already scored 2 kick return touchdowns, a very high number for a high school team, and they definitely want to limit them to any special teams plays in this ball game. So they're going to continue with the squib kicks. Now starting at about the 50-yard line is Kyle Pena and his offense jogging onto the field. And looks like they might be taking a knee here, but they'll probably try to go down the field.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the knee here as some big topic in our country, but I wouldn't take a knee.
The Wildcats employing a cover 2. Pena in the lone backfield. And looks like we have an easy false start against the Red Devils as all the receivers jumped off the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. So the Devils are going to hit with a 5-yard penalty, moving back to the 45-yard line.
I don't know what they saw there, Joe. I guess they thought that this is how Pena's motion caused him to get the snap. And here we go, Joe.
Pena drops back, pressure by 4, hit as he throws, and that pass is intercepted. And he's going to run it back, number 42, out of bounds, and stays in at around the 18-yard line.
Oh, come on, give him a second.
And the clock is going to tick down. Number 42, Peter Marino, on the interception. I believe the second of the night, and the clock is going to tick down to 0 as the Wilmington Wildcats lead 25-7 in the first half. And Nick, not a great start for the Red Devils early in this game.
No, bad by the Devils. 2 interceptions by Pena, 1 lucky. One that could have been his 3rd interception. Unfortunate, that only points the game for Burlington. Nothing going right. And we're going to see what they can do in the second half.
So that's the end of the first half as the Red Devils are the away team down 25-7. And thanks for joining in as we'll see you at the start of the second half. I'm Joe Viscioni with Nick Bongiorno and Matt DiMarzia, and we'll see you then.
See you then.
Oh, my God.
And the kick is about to be set off.
Oh, yes.
And it's back to about the 20-yard line, fielded by Jake Doherty. Doherty, the special team returner, breaking loose, and out to about the 43-yard line. Getting about 24 yards on the kick return. And finally, Wilmington lets Burlington return it up to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, this is the first time they went deep on the kick, and they got punished. They respected the run game. They tested it out the first play. And Jake Doherty, a great play to run by, and the blocking was good enough to get him to the 43.
Jogging onto the field now is Burlington's offense, who only put up 7 points in the first half, led by Kyle Pena. Pena threw 2 interceptions, nearly 3 so far in this game, trying to avoid that and get back on a roll.
Come on, Pena.
Pena in the gun. Has O'Halloran in motion on the sweep. Pena's going to take it himself up the middle. and stuffed, picking up about 4 yards on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, I like the play right there, Carl. Give a little read option to start the game. Pena, make them think that they're going to go to the left on the run, and he sets himself down the middle for 4 yards. And you need those small plays that gain yards to keep the drive going.
So Pena, 2nd and 6, sweep in motion.
Again.
And Pena's going to take it himself up the middle again, but not fooled this time is the Wildcats, stuffing him right at the line of scrimmage as Pena picks up maybe one on the carry, bringing up a 3rd and 5.
On the play by number 83, Dean Nally.
So Dean
Third down
Nally.
start.
Down 5 for Burlington.
And Pena trying to motion, trying to get a 3rd down completion off here. The Red Devils better on 3rd downs in this game, going 3 for 7. Pena takes the snap, has plenty of time, fires over to his man O'Halloran, who is down and picks up the 1st down right across the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that was finally we saw some pass protection, a double team on the edge, Joe. We needed a great pass protection. Pena enough time. With time, quarterbacks do things. So he found his main man, Ryan O'Halloran, and he made a move to get the 1st down. Great play.
Yeah, it was a great chip block by Cody Davidson, who was the halfback in motion there, was able to block the defensive end, number 11, Brendan Ross, from getting to the quarterback in time and gave Pena the time to throw the ball. Now Pena, 3 receivers stacked to the left, 1 to the right, has time, pressured around the left side, scrambling himself, Pena on the run, and tackled just short of the 41-yard line, showing his legs and his mobility.
Yeah, great play right there. Pena avoiding a sack and getting some sort of momentum towards like the 1-yard gain.
So after a decent pass protection play by the Red Devils, they give up some pressure along the edge to, I believe, number 51, Kyle Kenyon, the defensive lineman. Now stacked receivers all tripled up to the left side. Pena on the draw, up the middle again. And he's going to pick up a couple yards on the carry, bringing up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Burlington, I mean, they can't just do this play the whole time. It's working so far. But the quarterback keeper, sometimes it hurts the health of the quarterback. If he gets a big hit, he's putting himself in the area. And eventually Wilmington will figure this out and not even get yards, and still costly.
And Burlington, as you said, Nick, Wilmington could overload the box, so put more people in the middle and try to stop the run better. But I think that works out to Burlington's advantage, because when they know that Pena can move the ball with his feet, they'll be susceptible to the pass. Now O'Halloran in the motion, fakes it off, and leave a flag on the field. As the referees come out whistling.
False start.
Looks like we have a false start. And
offense.
False start against the offense, so Burlington gets hit with a 5-yard penalty.
Procedure penalty against Burlington. 5-yard penalty.
Burlington's second illegal procedure of the game. And just a stupid penalty, making it a 3rd and 6, which was originally a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 6. It could have been 3rd and 1 with that great play, and now you basically just threaten the health of Pena and not even gain any yards for it.
And taking out the option to run the ball, so now Pena is in the shotgun with 3rd and 6. Pena takes the snap, drops back, pressured up the middle, fires over to Davidson out of the flat. Davidson picking up the 1st down and more, bursting into the secondary and out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
You sometimes wonder how they survive these hits. That was a great hit at the end there by Wilmington, able to whip up the legs and avoid any more damage. But that was a great screen pass, even though it looked like it was going to be a sack. Pena gets it off, and it's a good play.
Now, Matt, Pena's been playing very good on the first drive of the game so far. How important will it be for the Red Devils offensively if Pena can have a good game at quarterback?
It would be very important for them to have a good offensive game, and they need to start, right now they're trying to gain some ground, trying to get back in this game.
And on the last play, Pena avoiding the weak side blitz, firing for Jake Doherty as the pass sails incomplete, bringing up a 2nd and 10 over his hands and dropping the ball for the Red Devils' 4th drop of the night. And that has been an issue that has been plaguing this offense so far. Last game they had 7 drops in their pass loss. Pena back in the gun, considering his offensive weapons without the presence of junior wide receiver Lucas Tribuco. Pena is going to do another option right up the middle, avoids the initial tackle and is down inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Joe, about a good gain of 3 yards there. They've run this play about 4 or 5 times. The quarterback keeper by Pena. Surprisingly, Wilmington hasn't figured out that he even keeps it yet and hasn't gone dead for losses. Anyway, it's working for Burlington.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Red Devils.
Yes.
Trying to get something going and into the end zone.
It's very important to score on this drive, Joe. Set the tone for the first half, and second half, excuse me.
Pena motions Davidson to his left. 2 receivers on each side.
You got it.
Pena takes a snap, pressured up the middle, fires on the screen over to his man. Looks like he held on to it after nearly boggling it. Jake McCulley on the reception.
Absolutely great play right there. Do an out route, send them forward, and then cut.
Number 7, Jake McCauley.
They're always very scared that Jake McCauley with the speed is going to go over the top. So it causes the defender to go 5 yards deeper, and he's able to stop at the time. So hard to play cornerback. And the pass by Pena almost juggled, but able to get a first down, Joe.
Yeah, so a great corner route run there by McCauley, not to be confused with the out route, which is a deep route down the field. Nonetheless, here comes Kyle Pena in the shotgun. A whiff. Davidson to his left. 2 receivers on each side.
Touchdown.
Pena takes the snap, fires to his left, and that pass is caught. Did he get his feet down? He did for the touchdown, and the Red Devils get on the board for the first time of the second half with a beautiful back shoulder throw by Kyle Pena.
I'm going to start calling plays before you say anything, because I'm going to be like Tony Romo over here. As Tony Romo predicts the future, 2 straight plays, predicting the future. Touchdown. They got a touchdown. An unbelievable throw by Pena. Unbelievable effort. Looked like he bobbled again. Caught it, and Burlington has a chance to get back in the game, Joe.
And Wheelock with trying for his second extra point of the night. And that kick is easily through the uprights. Knocking his second down, making the score 25-14 with 6:09 remaining in the 3rd quarter as the Red Devils are only down in a 2-score ball game after that beautiful connection by Burlington.
Joe, that was really, really clutch by Pena, clutch by the offense, clutch by Dan McKay, setting up this awesome drive. Pena putting his self on the line to get hit a couple times, but nonetheless, unbelievable throws and unbelievable effort to get a touchdown, which basically puts them back in the game.
And as you said before in the second half, Nick, Burlington was able to double team the edge on that last play, get a fullback, I believe Sean McGilvery, to seal the edge, and allowed Kyle Pena to make that nice back shoulder throw to Doherty in the end zone. So what a great grab there on the connection. And that's Pena's second passing touchdown of the game so far. Two passing touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And Wheelock is set to kick this one from 40. Has only done 1 kick that is not a squib all year. So it'll be interesting to see what Wheelock can do.
Cam Wheelock, unbelievable soccer player, as we said before in our broadcast booth, has a chance right here.
Stepping back 8 yards.
Funny run up.
And the kick is a squib, and flying goes the tee as well out to the 30, and that's a fair catch at the 30-yard line as he takes a knee. And pretty good field position for Wilmington.
Okay, this is a time for defense to step out. The defense wasn't doing a good job beforehand, and now on their first opposition of the second half, need to recreate some of the things they were doing in the first couple of drives to get them to get out, and Burlington's offense can continue momentum.
And Nick, who on the defense for Burlington really needs to have a couple big plays on this drive? If it were me, I would say Nick Campbell needs to make some defensive
Nick
stops.
Campbell, one of the big highlights, considering the fact that he, last week, not a starter until what he did, obviously, last week. An unbelievable play, needs to come clutch.
Smith out of the Wildcat, gives it over to Kenny, avoiding a blocker and tackled just around the 35-yard line, picking up about 5 yards from scrimmage. What a great carry from him, making some men miss. That's going to be a 2nd and 5. As the clock continues to Wilmington will surely run the ball in these next couple of drives. As Smith breaks out of the huddle in the Wildcat. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Burlington in a cover 1 defense. And the snap is given over to Kenny up the left side. Kenny hitting a blocker and picks up, I believe, a first down. Moving the chains.
Kenny's carry is good for a Wilmington first down.
And that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats in front of the home crowd.
Tackled by Burlington.
To be the turn of the still a lot of yards to not let up before they get in the end zone. So,
and number 5, Chris
this is going to be still a good chance for Burlington to win.
Number 5, Chris Rocco on the tackle. That's a first down. Smith trying to get his offense poised and ready for this next snap.
Oh, Joe, I see blitz.
One man to his left, gives it on the draw, up the middle to Kenny. Kenny is knocked loose. The ball came out, but looks like it is still going to be recovered by the Wildcats.
Oh, great play right there by Burlington, sending all pressure forward. And no way the offensive line of Wilmington could block that. As they read it all the way and stuff for a gain of only 2. Let's go.
Tackled by Jake McCauley.
So Jake
Second down and 8
McCauley,
for Wilmington.
the safety making the tackle, who's had a fantastic game so far, and he could be one of the key matchups right now. As the strong safety has been solid throughout the entire season. In the stacked backfield, has an extra fullback in motion. Smith gives it over to Keeney up the middle, and to no surprise, then is knocked down at the 46-yard line.
Okay,
picking up about 2.
Good play right there, Burlington. They understood that maybe they'd go for another run play, try and get some yards. They don't really allow that. And now third and sort of longish, middle type long is going to be a big play for Burlington. I predict an interception and another change of momentum.
So Burlington would definitely need to get a turnover here, which would definitely give them a momentum boost. Last week, Burlington had 1 forced fumble in their matchup against the Warriors, so trying to complete that again as they already have won in this ball game. Shotgun, here's Smith, takes the snap. He's going to roll to his right, fires to his receiver, to Kenny. Kenny breaking loose, 1 man to beat. And jolts into the end zone after a great catch out of the flat for the touchdown. And Wilmington gets in for the first time with a second half as Burlington's defense collapses.
Oh, I'm so mad. I called an interception on that play, and Burlington gives up a touchdown. It's a devastator. They had such a good chance in 25-14, 11-point game, and they just give it right all away on another bad play, another identical touchdown, allowing him to run to his right, throw over his shoulder, and it's horrible by that defense. Now Burlington has, with so much time taken off already in the third quarter, Joe, this is really hard.
Junior Adam Bishop set to try to knock this one through.
Oh.
Pressure up the edge, still gets the kick off. And right in time, straight through the uprights for a second extra point of the game. Wildcats take an 18-point lead over the Red Devils.
Wilmington 32. Burlington 14.
The Devils trying to get on the scoreboard and match that recent drive by the Wildcats.
Yeah, just not good enough. And you can't allow the same play happen over and over again. And it's not that Ryan O'Halloran had the coverage for a long time. He just couldn't hold on to that line with a good pass over the shoulder with too much time to his running right. And Burlington's punished. Down 18 points. So, Matt, what do you think Burlington is going to need to do offensively to have a chance of coming back in this game?
Well, they need to definitely step up their defense. They're allowing, obviously, this by the score 32.
Yeah, that's defensive struggles have continued.
It continues to struggle, and they have to work on that. And,
what about the offense?
The offense is pretty good, not top notch, but we expected Burlington not to not to
Bishop
have a whole lot of offense, but
kick this one off.
They
show some life.
Jake Doherty escaping and gets it to about the 44-yard line on the return. 34 yards by the Red Devils there. So just a couple of score updates for high school football right now. Burlington football was leading Reading at halftime 9-8, while the 5-0 Lexington Minutemen, recovering, is up 56-7 over Belmont at halftime, showing their high-powered offense, which averages over 49 points per game.
Oh, I don't know if Burlington want to play Lexington.
And Lexington and Burlington are going to play each other in the annual Thanksgiving matchup. Well, that's a couple of months away. So Pena back in the shotgun, trying to answer after that touchdown scored by the Wildcats by Kenny, who picked up his third of the game.
Come on, Penny. Come on, man. Come on. Yes.
Fires up the middle. Pass is intercepted by number 9.
Oh, my God.
Connor Benoit on the pick. And on the first play of the drive, Kyle Pena throws his third interception of the night.
It's falling apart. It's I thought I had some momentum, some life at the beginning of the second half, and I thought they could build off of it. The defense could not do a good enough job, and I think it disrupted the moment of offense. Kyle Pena had a bad throw again for his third or fourth, was it third INT of the game, and it's It's very disheartening.
And definitely not sure about the play call there, as I believe O'Halloran was the intended receiver, and Pena just threw it right up the middle into triple coverage for what seems like the 4th or 5th time of the night, and finally gets picked off on that route. Now we have Smith, who's most likely going to run it in the set backfield, gives it over to Kenny. Kenny picking up space, bursting into the secondary, and picks up the first down at the 45-yard line.
Joe, I'm telling you right there, that would have been a touchdown if that's a game-saving, possibly game-saving and definitely a touchdown-saving tackle. It's because he had a wide-open hole, and with the acceleration, there's no catching him.
Yeah, what a great blocking by the offensive line there. Speaking of Kenny, he's been an MVP in this game so far tonight, over 100 yards rushing, and it seems like receiving, as he has already 3 touchdowns in total. Smith in the gun, gives it over to Kenny yet again on the draw. Kenny finding space up the left sideline, is still on his feet and tackled, picking up about 17 yards on the carry. Good for another Wilmington first down.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, they have no fear. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep the pressure. They're going to keep scoring what they can on Burlington. What momentum and what fight by Wilmington, just outclassing Burlington. What unbelievable running. He runs right at the defender, challenges him, doesn't go out of bounds, decides to take him on and gain an extra yard or two. That's just passion, that's fight, and Wilmington's driving.
All right, here we go, starting from the 36-yard line. Wilmington winding the clock down with all these running plays as it continues to tick down. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Smith takes a snap, fakes it on the play-action pass, fires deep for his man, and that pass is intercepted by Jake Doherty at the 11-yard line. Jumped right in front of the receiver and intercepted the ball.
Pass is intercepted by Burlington.
And Burlington forcing another turnover, their second of the night, and the defense comes up huge.
Smith, what were you thinking? Oh my goodness. So that was a bit of an inerrant throw, not looking where that's one of those things by a quarterback that, especially with an older quarterback, you can't have. He has momentum in the game. He throws it up a little. He throws a lollipop really into no man's land, and Jake Doherty reading it all the way, and he catches it, and that's unbelievable, Joe.
So John Clinico, the intended receiver there, as the pass gets intercepted. Pena with another chance here. O'Halloran in motion. Fakes a reverse, and we have a penalty on the field. Looks like it's going to be possibly a legal procedure. And just waiting for everything here.
Penalty is a legal procedure.
And a legal procedure, 5 yards against the Red Devils, their 3rd time of the night. So definitely a costly penalty, Nick, given the field position.
Yeah, Joe, it's costly. It's going to send them back even farther from what they already are. And Kyle Pena needs to make some plays. Defense is given opportunity. What an unbelievable play again by Jake Doherty to intercept the pass. And now Kyle Pena has a chance to do something.
Wilmington in the cover 1. Pena fakes it right up the middle. Is going to carry it himself and tackled at around the 8-yard line, gaining 3 yards.
Yeah, he gained some yards back. Unfortunately, that's not going to do too much for you when you already lost 5 yards. Pena is going to have to do something better than just the offensive line has to do a better job protecting them. You're going to have to do a better job to have a chance in the fourth and the end of the third quarter, which is coming to close to an end already. Fast game, and Kyle Pena just needs to start throwing balls.
2nd and 12 here for Pena in the offense. Late blitz coming from the left side. Pena fires over to O'Halloran, who's wrapped up, picking up about 5 yards on the reception, bringing up a 3rd and what looks to be 6.
I would hurry for Burlington. There's only 11 minutes in each quarter and 1 minute left in this. I would try and hurry and try and get the ball, drive the ball downfield. No time to lollygag, no time to run the ball, especially with how ineffective it's been. Gotta take some chances downfield.
And the Devils only need one more touchdown to tie their season-high points scored so far. Last game they had that against the Wakefield Warriors, so trying to break that this game. Pena back in the shotgun, audibling out a new play here. Motions Davidson to his left, takes the snap, pressured, and he is wrapped up for the 5th time of the night. Number 51, Kyle Kenyon on the sack, forcing Burlington to punt.
Yeah, they're going to have to punt this, unfortunately. I don't know if they're going to give up or not. It'd be a lot worse still if you get in such good field position. Pena, again, no offensive line protection. Team of the night just goes down. Now, Joe, you have to worry about Cam Wheelock getting enough time in such a short amount, because when you're in the end zone backed up, you have less time to space the punt, so let's see what Cam Wheelock can do.
Probably going to bring an extra rush. Wheelock to punt this one. And that punt is blocked yet again. You called it, Nick. And it's recovered for a touchdown by the Wildcats. Their second blocked punt for a touchdown of the game as this nightmare continues on Friday the 13th in Wilmington, Massachusetts.
And recovered in the end zone by Tyler Roberts.
Joe, I don't think this is Friday the 13th. This is just flat out for the season been a theme. And the punt unit has been horrendous. Cam Wheelock, it's not his fault. As I told you before, this is what happens when you're backed up. You have less time to punt, and no balking at all. But went right through him. Cam Wheelock, no space to punt, and a touchdown, which is going to send them to pretty much an automatic loss.
And for the Wildcats.
Not an automatic loss, Joe, but I mean, still very hard with 38-14.
And Bishop with the kick up, nearly blocked. It looks like that could be a roughing the kicker penalty. And yeah, it's called.
Kicker's down, Joe.
So Burlington's going to get hit with that most likely on the kickoff, as they're going to get to move up 5 yards. Not a smart penalty by the Red Devils there, as they just ran into Bishop.
Yeah, I don't know if they're angry. They probably are angry. They're frustrated. They want to get something going, and probably just taking the frustration out on the kicker there.
Trying to get a big hit to get some momentum and passion for you, but I guess on the wrong player because it's going to give you a penalty.
Yeah, roughing the kicker, Joe, and that's going to worsen Burlington's field position.
As it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Maybe squib it, maybe kick the ball back into the end zone. And the referee coming out to make his call here. And the special teams has been horrendous so far in this ball game for the Red Devils as they're trying to improve. Wheelock's 2 punts have been blocked and he's only been able to net around 36 yards per punt from the line of scrimmage.
The 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
So a 15-yard penalty, a terrible play by the Red Devils, altering their field position heavily.
Oh, yikes.
Is that the 50-yard line? 15 yards penalties, 10 yards penalties will do this to you. It's a 25-point lead if anyone doesn't want to know this, so it's not over yet. We have a chance if you're superstitious.
So 25-point lead for the Wildcats with 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. As this kickoff will probably let the fourth quarter run out from the 50-yard line.
Who's going to kick in the end zone?
And they're going to probably squib this one to try to get it to around the 10-yard line. Bishop with plenty of position. This is what you hit in warm-ups.
Joe, this would be so funny. What they used to do in the old days, when you were talking like 1914 to 1930s, you could score on the kickoff if you got through the uprights, and with a huge run-up and no one challenging you, this would be easy 3 points right here for Bishop.
And not even to the 50, the 45-yard line of the Red Devils. And Bishop, if that was still in play, I could definitely see that going on right now. Lining up the ball to most likely be a squib. Bishop with plenty of time here. And blasts this one to about the 10-yard line, fielded by Doherty. Doherty has some time and space. I believe that was actually O'Halloran who's wrapped up at the 24-yard line.
And a flag.
Paveo, excuse me, on the return.
Michael Paveo on the return for Burlington. Tackled by Tyler Roberts.
Tyler Roberts making the tackle. And let's see what the penalty is. It looks like we have a illegal block in the back.
The penalty is a hold against
Burlington. Against Burlington. So 10 yards after the kickoff is going to move the ball to the 14-yard line. So terrible field position as the end of the third quarter concludes. And the Red Devils are down 39-14 as it is just about to be the start of the fourth quarter. Matt, the special teams unit for the Red Devils has definitely been the low light of this game, allowing 2 blocked punts. What do the Red Devils need to do here to try to get back on the scoreboard?
Well, they need to have a good offensive game, and they have to, they can't allow Wilmington to score anymore. They have to now create, a good offensive game. They have to try to get back in it. They have to quit, giving the ball to the other team, intercepted, turnover. That's probably the number one thing that big issue in this game.
I mean, definitely that's the turnovers. Oh yeah, like you said that, Matt. Turnover has been a big part in this game. 2 interceptions by the quarterback of Smith even. So a total of 5 interceptions tonight. Not definitely a quarterback performance. Definitely, it's been special teams mistakes and just mistakes for Burlington that's killed them like it has all season.
So the Devils back in the shotgun, gives it over to O'Halloran, who's wrapped up
And
at around the
another flag.
22-yard line as a flag is on the field. And wants to wait for the call. Offense signaling that it could be against Wilmington. And number 51 for Wilmington jogs off the field. Penalty is on the defense. And
Pass complete to number
gonna be
7,
a-
Jake McCauley. Tackled by Wilmington's Devin Clarico. Penalty is a late hit against Wilmington.
And that's going to be a late hit for Wilmington, causing them a couple yards on that. So Burlington gets an automatic first down. And the Red Devils moving it up about 15 yards. And some great field position now after that penalty, despite the
After the penalty,
holding
Burlington was first and
on
10 from their own
the kickoff
30-yard
prior
line.
to this. So the Devils getting flagged with many penalties so far in this game, including 2 on the drive. Pena drops back, fires to his right. That pass is completed to O'Halloran, making a man miss, showing his mobility around the edge, and finally wrapped up at the 39-yard line by, I believe, number 21, Michael Daly.
That's 21 on 21 crime.
It's a gain of 9. Tackled
So
on the play by number 22, Kyle Penny.
I swear to God, he made the same move like 4 times on each player, Joe, and he's able to get unbelievable effort and still trying to fight in this game, even though they're down to 25 points and not a lot of chance. But he still is fighting, and he still loves Burlington.
A great run after the catch by O'Halloran. Here is Davidson, and Pena fakes it on the quarterback draw just up the middle, and that's going to be enough for the first down.
We don't know about all these hits on Pena tonight. He's taken, if you add up all the hits, it might be a really bad number for the offensive line. But Pena himself has also been putting himself on the line, and I don't know how good it is. He looks like he's been taking a lot of hits to the head, concussions.
Well, Nick, I can agree with you in some way that he's taking a lot of hits, but I definitely, Burlington, I think they know that that's going to happen when they're doing a lot of quarterback sneaks and draws up the middle. So I think Pena's fine with enduring it despite the chances of CTE. Pena throws the ball up the field, wide open, Jake McCauley, and he drops it at the 25-yard line. And if he made that reception, McCauley would have easily been in for the touchdown.
Intended for number 7.
Throwing a little behind him.
Actually, Joe, I like you mentioned that because I was going to contradict that. I don't think he would have gone for the touchdown because of the ball thrown behind him. He would have had some momentum and stopped, and the defender behind him would have tackled him. But still, you need to make that catch. It was a great throw, great protection for once by Pena, and they blew it.
So a fantastic pass by Kyle Pena. You can't get that much better when you're a high school quarterback, as he's throwing pretty pinpoint accurate from 30 yards and out. Pena on the draw right up the middle again, nearly picking up the first down and more, taking the hit from number 9, Connor Benioy.
For a gain of 8.
And that's an 8-yard gain, bringing up a 3rd and 2 for the Red Devils in the Wilmington territory. And Pena trying to get a new play call out here, trying to complete a 3rd down conversion and get his offense rolling. As Davidson with him. Gives it over, fakes to Davidson, and he's going to do it on the quarterback draw and stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by number...
In the backfield.
I don't know, Joe, what they're doing there, but they've run the same play since the beginning of the game, and second half, like 20-something times. It's the same play, always to Davidson, and it's going to be really bad for the body of Pena.
4th down conversion here for Pena, trying to get this one go. Big for the Red Devils. Pena drops back, sees the blitz, picks up the first down for the Red Devils.
His go-to man, Joe.
And Ryan O'Halloran makes the reception across the 44-yard line.
Yeah, Ryan O'Halloran, a great reception there, running his route to perfection. Pena just enough time to get the ball off. If it was probably 4th and 3, he would not have been able to get it off. But.
Yeah, 6-man rush sent by Wilmington there, Nick, and the Wildcats were able to nearly get to Pena, provide a hit on the quarterback, but it really just shows his composure in the pocket to be able to see the blitz, calm down, and make a pinpoint accurate throw to O'Halloran.
The clock is running. It's been a pretty fast second half.
Pena takes a snap,
Pena,
fires to Ryan Culhane, And he is walking into the end zone for the touchdown. Ryan Cohen, gets on the board for the touchdown with his first TD since being back from injury.
This isn't Ryan, only Ryans who could score touchdowns for the Burlington Red Devils. What a nice play. They had a similar pass dropped by Jake McCauley earlier. Pena this time right on the money, hits him in stride. Ryan Cohen, elusive and dodges the tackle off his leg into the end zone for 39-20, so technically not over yet with 8 minutes, 5 seconds, but pretty close still.
Pena going for a 2-point conversion here. Stacked receivers to each side. Takes the snap, has an extra blocker, fires to his right, and that pass is intercepted. And it's ripped out of the hands by the Red Devils, and that's going to be in for the 2-point conversion. And that's a bit of play of some trickery. I thought it was an interception, and so did some people in the crowd, but Cody Davidson rips it away as that 2-point conversion is good for 39-22 as the Devils are only down by 17, just a 3-score game.
I'll tell you what, Joe, I mean, that's the wackiest play I've seen the Devils all year. What a throw. That looked like it took just about a billion different, sorry for hyperbole right there. Shout out to English teachers. What a bounce and a biggity bounce. That's just amazing.
And now, Matt, after a great turn of events for the Red Devils, they get on the scoreboard for the 3rd time in the night. How big was that score for the Red Devils?
That was big for Burlington. They find themselves now back in the game. They're trailing, by 17. They definitely, that they're trying to gain some ground before they have plenty of time left. They have 8 minutes. They are definitely in it to win it, but so far they are, find themselves trailing by 17. But they have what it takes to get back in this game and take the lead and try to, show that they do have some life, and they, try to get their first win. But it's going to be a tough task for them, but they try to pull it together.
And Wheelock with the onside kick there, recovered by the Wildcats, not being too fooled with 8 minutes remaining. It was pretty obvious that they were going to go for it. Down by 17, the Wildcats are going to probably just try to run the ball and let the clock tick down.
Yeah, that was a good onside kick, I'd say. It actually balanced, what you want to do is you get the bounce right when it happens to the players so that they don't have a clean catch, and it did. It actually went between the legs, and unfortunately for Burlington, they can't jump on it.
So the Burlingtons employing a 4-man defensive front in the nickel. And Smith takes the pass, gives it over to Kenny up the middle, and Smith on the reverse quarterback sneak. Takes it up the left sideline, fooled me, and gets out of bounds, picking up the first down.
Great play right there. He had everyone fooled. That, just like he just pulled what the Kyle Pena was doing all game, taking it himself out on the read option and runs it in for a first down.
So what a fantastic play there by Smith, moving the chains, but goes out of bounds and stops the clock. So a negative for the Wildcats. The Burlington Red Devils trying to hold this offense to not too many yards here, as they've allowed over 300 rushing in the past couple contests. And that is Kenny, who is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by, it looks to be,
Kyle Penny carries for the Wildcats for a gain of 2.
Not too sure there. I believe Jake McCauley made the stop. The strong safety.
Down 8.
Bringing up a 2nd and 8 for Smith in his offense.
Clock's running, so Burlington, unfortunately, down 17 points. That's a 3-score game, and it's really hard to come back. We'll see what they can do.
And the handoff is given straight up the middle, and he is brought down, picking up about 3 yards on the carry.
Kyle Penny carries for a gain of 3 yards.
And that's Kyle Penny, not to be confused with Kyle Pena, Burlington quarterback, on the carry, bringing up a 3rd down and 5. Clock under 7 minutes remaining in this game, as offensive coordinator Sean Turner trying to get his offense going and continuing the clock to tick down. Pretty happy with his efforts so far, as they usually average 26 points per game. Tonight, putting up 39 on the Red Devils.
I think they're bringing a blitz.
Smith in the shotgun gives it over on the draw, straight up the middle to his halfback, who's brought down at the 46-yard line, short of the fourth down by 2.
I think they'll go for it, Joe. Try and just close the game out. But 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go, and I would trust your offense here, considering how they've been running the ball.
Wilmington playing the Rocky theme song, trying to get their offense going. On the other side of the football, the Red Devils need a big defensive stop to try to not let this game slip out of their hands. Burlington rushing for Smith. Plenty of time, fires to his right, and the pass is incomplete, intended for, I believe, Kennelly. And Ryan Culhane on the coverage. And that's going to be a turnover on the downs as the Red Devils start out with pretty good field position.
Yeah, Joe, it was a great play right there by the corners to stay with their men. Not a great, really, for the pass rush because they, Josh Smith, again, went out of the pocket and was able to throw a ball. Graham Smith was able to go outside the pocket and throw a ball, which still could have been caught, but the coverage was too good. Burlington has a chance right now to maybe get some offense going and maybe just get a little bit of a try and win.
And it's definitely going to come down to how their offensive line performs, as their edges have not been having a very good game so far. And 4-man rush, looks like showing a blitz. 5-man, Pena pressured, has to scramble, fires to his right. Open man, and that pass is looks to be dropped, nearly intercepted. Pena could have almost got away with his fourth interception of the game. And that pass falls incomplete.
Yes, absolutely. That was a great play right there by the defender, almost coming up with it. Unfortunately, I think that the contact, you have to complete the catch, and he didn't do it. He hit the ground too hard for him to hold it, and Kyle Pena gets away with one. And he almost got sacked again.
Jason Valley nearly picked that one off for the second time in the night. Almost had his chance there. And 4-man rush. Pena pressured yet again. Culhane out of the flat, making his man miss and up into the secondary. Pena showing his quick feet. And Culhane down at the 45-yard line. What turned into an awful start in blocking by the Red Devils leads to a first down by Ryan Culhane.
Ryan Culhane, this is some of the times that they've got from Ryan Culhane, making moves, making players miss with the blocks from screen passes. That Kyle Pena looked like that was a broken play. Kyle Pena almost got sacked and then almost got hit right behind the line by Culhane. Culhane almost got hit, and he actually turns it to something good.
5:30 remaining. Pena fires downfield to his man. And that pass is incomplete, intended for O'Halloran, but a flag's on the field. Could be pass interference against the defense.
There's a flag down on the field.
Yeah, Joe, I would definitely think pass interference. I mean, he was holding Ryan O'Halloran's wrist and didn't allow him to catch.
Pretty easy penalty to make if you're the referee. Let's just see what the call is. And we have a pass interference against the defense. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, I believe. And the Red Devils get to push the ball into about the 30-yard line.
And Joe, I wouldn't say, I don't think that the score reflects Burlington's best offensive performance today. They've gotten their most points in a single game all season, but the offense really hasn't been playing to the best they can.
I agree with you, Nick, in the fact where I think their best offensive game of the year was against Watertown, where Pena put up 325 yards, over 60% completion percentage, along with 3 passing touchdowns. In tonight's matchup, he's thrown 3 interceptions, which definitely isn't a good profile for the sophomore quarterback. Showing a blitz on the screen pass over Davidson, making the one-hand leaping grab and picks up about 4 yards on the reception. What a catch by Davidson.
Yeah, Davidson. It was a great catch and a great motion as well. He caught it and then basically, right from the catch, didn't have any hesitation. He basically took it on stride with one hand and rammed into the player for a good game.
And Dan McKay trying to coordinate his offense to get another score on the clock. Here's Pena, pressured again. And that pass is incomplete, intended for Davidson, who just drops the ball. And you got to make that grab, Nick.
Yeah,
no one is around you, and you still drop it.
Yeah, that's a horrible play by Davidson, just making a great catch. And now he draws the easy one, which could have gone for a big play. And Dan McKay, I saw he was living about it. He was not happy. Doesn't want stupid mistakes to happen. That was a really big one. And now Burlington, again, is in a predictable offense with 3rd and 6. Expect a blitz.
Alec Rollins no longer in the offense because of Culhane. Pena fires to his right. That pass is completed.
Good job!
And he's escaping into the red zone for the touchdown. And the Red Devils score for the 4th time in the night thanks to Kyle Pena. connecting with his man in the red zone.
Yeah, I'm happy. You know,
Mike
it wasn't. It's not the best offensive performance tonight, as we said, Joe. But some unbelievable efforts, unbelievable moves by the players. Staying Cal Pena is just a great gutsiness. You had to admire him for sticking through this game, and just unbelievable.
Pena, 3 receivers bunched out to the right side in the trips, and 1 in the slot.
Still not over yet, Joe. They get this 2-point conversion. Things could be on the horizon.
So Pena trying to go for 2 here in the spread offense. Empty backfield. Takes the snap, is going to scramble with it himself. Fires into the red zone, and that pass is caught for the 2-point conversion. Good by Mike Paveo.
Joe, there's a chance.
2-point conversion attempt is good.
They gotten 16 points in the last 6 minutes, Joe. There's a chance.
Wilmington 39, Burlington 30.
And the Red Devils put up 30 points so far in the game, their highest of the year by about 9. So the Red Devils offense shining through on the last drive of the game. And I think at this point, Nick, you can see Wilmington, they're going to probably go for all rushing plays, try to run the clock down, and pick up a few first downs, which could end this game.
Joe, how big is it now that Burlington couldn't get one of their kicks in? I believe.
One of their 2-point conversions or their kicks that they missed.
They missed a kick, and how big is that now? It's a 2-possession game rather than a 1, and that could be coming back to haunt them if they cannot. I would suspect onside kick and then let's try and stop.
And Nick, I think the main issue so far with the Red Devils has been if these special teams mistakes, the 2 blocked punt for touchdown, the Red Devils would be up right now by
a good.
They'd be up by about 1 score right now. So if those block punts didn't happen, the Devils would be close to having their first win of the season.
Yeah, now, it's just bad by the Devils tonight to make some mistakes.
Lined up for the onside kick, and Wilmington falls on top of it at the 47-yard line, as you were saying, Nick.
Yeah, Joe, it's devastating sometimes. If they can't come back and win, they're going to be looking at themselves in the mirror in so many different plays, so many blown opportunities to make plays on the quarterback, and then 2 stupid mistakes, 2 block, get this through your head, 2 block punts for touchdowns in 1 game. That is unacceptable, and that's going to lose your games every time.
And the Red Devils,
even if you score 30 points.
Have a good defensive effort here. So far on the year, the Red Devils average 400 yards allowed. Here's Kenny. Kenny up the middle is brought down for a 2-yard gain. Tackle made.
John Kenny carries for
and we have a flag on the field.
There's a flag down on the play.
And let's hope this isn't against the Red Devils.
They might be calling face mask, and that's looks the
yeah, face mask. As it looked like Kenny was wrapped up. And that is a heartbreaking penalty for the Red Devils.
That's another thing. It's a stupid penalty. So many stupid plays tonight by Burlington that has cost them this game, probably in all likelihood. That another one. It's just a symbolic game in terms of penalties, block punts, bad mistakes on defense. It's cost them huge right here in this game. I mean, if you've been given a chance to win and you're not doing well with it, that's just an easy tackle to make, and you don't have to grab the face mask.
And when you get this many penalties in the game, it's pretty obvious that your head coach, Dan McKay, is going to be furious with you. Absolutely livid about this when you give up this many penalties, the holding, the false starts, and the face mask.
Yeah, Joe.
Now here's Kenny up the middle.
There we go.
Escaping for the first down and more into the secondary and down at the 15-yard line. Kenny with another big game for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Joe, you can bet that I was about to say that you can bet that Dan McKay is going to be making them run some extra laps.
A couple extra half-gassers.
Yeah, it's not good, but now 15-yard line and 4:03, I would suspect that Wilmington just keeps running the clock out, as you said, and we're going to go on to loss number 6.
And under 4 minutes remaining, Wilmington lined up in a passing formation right now, spread offense. And they fake it, give it over to Kenny. Kenny picking up more yards and gets the first down, and he's into the red zone for the touchdown. Kenny's 4th touchdown of the night. And the Wildcats almost likely put this game out of reach with a 15, almost 16-point lead.
Yeah, it's a 2-touchdown lead with 2 2-point conversions. Really hard for Burlington. All I think to come back with 3 minutes. And that was another bad play. It was defensively, you needed to tackle. There was so many chances to tackle, and you didn't do it.
And right now, the Wildcats are going to go for 2.
Just to put the game away.
If this conversion is good, there will pretty much be no chance, as it would be a 3-score game. The Red Devils sending a blitz.
Come on, Burley.
5-man rush. Smith takes a snap, hit as he throws and fires into the end zone for Tyler Roberts, who's in for the 2-point conversion, making the score 47-30 with 3:45 remaining at Wilmington High School campus. And the Red Devils down by 17 after a valiant comeback, putting up 23 points in the second half.
Yeah, Joe. So the offense did enough. It's obviously not perfect. Nothing's perfect with this team right now when you're 0-5 and all likelihood 0-6 with a 3-score game. And it's unfortunate for Burlington. They have some players and they look like they could be getting better talent-wise and chemistry-wise, but they just made so many mistakes, which is costing.
And it can come to mind when you see the defense. One of the key mistakes, I think, have been missed tackles.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the first level, their defensive linemen are getting blocked. They can't get off their blocks and make a move. So the running backs are able to burst into the secondary, and then those guys are unable to get a tackle. We saw Jake McCauley go for the tackle on Kenny. Couldn't make it. He went into the end zone. That's been a continuing problem for the Red Devils all season, as they really need to fix that.
Absolutely, Joe. I mean, it's hard to fix it on season. We didn't expect this season so far to be the best, considering the fact that the system. It's not, and it has been getting somewhat better. I mean, we score more points each game now. We haven't been shut out. Unfortunately, the defense, as you said, it's not been good, and also the stupid mistakes, like 2 block punts, which is a huge 14 points, has put up 47 points. That's they're not allowed less than 30 points, I'm pretty sure, all season. That's something that's going to have to change.
Definitely some things to improve on for the Red Devils, as the kick by Bishop is up, as he's going to kick it to about the 20-yard line, fielded by the Red Devils. Doherty making a man miss, still on his feet and wrapped up at around the 36-yard line. Tackle made by number 3, Christian Robarge.
Jake Doherty returns the kick.
So
Tackle play by Tyler Roberts.
the Red Devils, with 3:38 remaining, are going to try to get on the scoreboard again. Down by 17. As Pena jogs onto the field, sporting 3 passing touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Definitely a split game for him. Not reflecting the best game on his resume, but given it's his first year starting, it's definitely a pretty good start to his high school career.
And he's had a lot of hits.
Nonetheless, Pena in the shotgun, has an extra blocker from Davidson, pressured, fires across the middle, and that pass is tipped, intended for Ryan O'Halloran, who drops the ball, his 3rd drop of the night.
He should have caught the ball there at first down and blew the chains, but unfortunately, Pena was able to buy some time away from the offensive line in total, so that he gets because they were going to let another thing happen to them.
And at this point in the game, if you're the Red Devils, you're just getting really tired. The offense has been on the field for almost a large majority of the game. As Ryan O'Halloran, you can see him very sweaty and tired, jogging off. And here's Pena pressured up the middle again, has to scramble to his right, fires, and that pass is dropped by Cole Hain just out of his gloves. And if you're Cole Hain, that's an easy grab. You got to hang on to it.
He's had so many grabs tonight, and unfortunately for him, my good old buddy Cole Hain is not able to make the catch. And that's a great 2 plays by Pena to get outside the pocket, avoid the run, avoid the rush, which he's not done so great tonight. But he's done it great now, and they had to catch those.
3:24 remaining. Pena in 4th down territory, given the situation. As Davidson to the left of him, 2 receivers on each side, takes the snap, pressured up the middle, fires over to Cole Hain, who was tackled at the 45-yard line, 2 yards short of the 1st down.
Yeah, they'll go for it here. They're playing for pride. Maybe get another couple points on the board to just extend, just to get some more points, get some more comfort and confidence in the offense. And this is a big 4th down for Burlington with the clock ticking, and we'll see what Pena does. He's done a great job with 3 on that point passes, 2 of them for a draw, then this one caught. I think he'll get another catch this time.
And the Wildcats lining up in a cover 2, looking like it's going to be a free safety blitz. And Pena pressured up the middle by a linebacker and takes a late hit from number 44, Jason Valley, applying the pressure. And Pena gets smacked, bringing over a turnover on downs, which could close out the game.
Yeah, the game was probably already closed out. Everyone's really tired. 17 points, 3 possession lead, and unfortunately not good enough from Burlington tonight. Too many mistakes. And Pena goes off the field for maybe possibly the final time tonight if Burlington doesn't allow another touchdown.
And Nick, really on that play, it really points out what you've been saying, that Pena's been taking some monster hits, whether he's been sacked or running it up the middle. I'm surprised he doesn't have CTE by this point.
Yeah.
And this defense trying to get one last stop as the clock should be running down.
They're looking like they're passing and they should really run the ball.
In the shotgun, Campbell nearly caught off sides. And that's a draw straight up the middle as he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Johnson Magada, the defensive tackle with his second tackle for loss of the ball game so far tonight.
John Magada, the Vince Wilfork of the Burlington Red Devils, clogging up the middle with his huge size and his strength. He's able to bring him down, and the clock will keep running, but Burlington just want to see the game out. Good effort tonight, but still a lot of things to improve on, as you would expect from a young and new system team.
And sophomore Chris Jones trying out defensive tackle right now. And Smith takes the snap, gives it over to number 21, his man, who is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage yet again. Tackle made by a looks to be,
Mike Daly on the carry for the Wildcats.
not sure, Josh Lee, I believe, on the tackle.
Third down, 11.
So 3rd and 11. That was number 21, Michael Daly on the carry, picking up 0 yards. 3rd and 12, under 2 minutes remaining. Wilmington trying to get one last completion here. Takes the snap, fakes it on the option, and here is Smith making a man miss and is wrapped up at around the 38-yard line. Tackle made by number 4, Ryan Cohane, the safety, coming off the edge.
Good move right there by Smith. Really just Burlington nothing timeouts. They're just letting the game run out.
And as most fans are leaving their posts here, the clock continues to tick down, just around under a minute remaining in the second half.
Feels good.
Both teams just waiting for the clock to go down.
1 minute left in this good battle tonight.
Possibly one last play, bringing up a 4th and 8 for Smith and his offense. Burlington showing a weak side blitz, and that pass is nearly fumbled, and Kenny is going to be wrapped up for a tackle for loss made by Nick Campbell, and that's going to be a turnover on downs as the Red Devils are going to recover this one. As the coach in the booth jogs out, as they're probably just going to take a knee here.
I wouldn't suspect to take a knee with all that's been going on. I would suspect that they would actually try and run a play.
As Burlington having the ball at the 46-yard line with just about 45 seconds remaining. And Pena back on the field, maybe trying to get one more thing going. Just depends on how Dan McKay is feeling with this one. 2 receivers split out to each side. And Pena takes the snap. Has time. Fires and pressured for Jake McCoy as the pass is overthrown out of bounds just a couple yards in front of him, stopping the clock at 39 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. I told you, Joe, they're not going to take a knee. They want to get a touchdown and maybe try and get some points just for, the sake of scoring and maybe seeing what kind of plays they can use in the future. But that was a good play right there by Pena. A bit overthrown, unfortunately, and out of bounds.
The Devils keeping their starters in here, not really testing out any new players given the score and time remaining. Pena takes the snap, has time in the pocket, fires on the screen to Davidson. Davidson wrapped up at the 45-yard line. Tackle made by number 43, Bailey Smith. As the clock continues to tick down, and that could be the last play of the game.
By Bailey Smith. 3rd down, 10 for
the Devils trying to get one more off here. Pena in the shotgun.
15 seconds left, Joe, the last play.
Takes the snap. Pena has time. Great blocking, fires, and that pass is incompleted. Intended for Jake McCauley, who couldn't make the reaching grab to his right. And there's going to be one more after the incompletion. Bring up 4th down.
I suspect the Hail Mary here. Try and just get to the end zone and try and get some score.
And Wilmington employing the dime defense, 6 defensive backs in right now, including 2 deep safeties. Burlington, Davidson in the backfield. Pena takes a snap, pressured up the middle. He's going to have to scramble himself. Fires, and that pass is completed to Cohane, who gets outside and tackled at the 39-yard line. and took a low hit, a little shaken up.
They took a timeout.
And the Red Devils take a timeout with 1 second remaining in the entire game as Tan McCain, offense, wants one last chance to get back on the board.
Yeah, I told you, they want to score. They didn't want to take the knee. There 1 second left.
And looks like the time is going to tick down. No timeout as the Red Devils walk away with a 47-30 loss in Wilmington, Massachusetts. And in this game, it was close throughout the first half, Nick, as the Red Devils had some chances to win this ball game.
They had a lot of chances, a lot of bad mistakes. They're going to need to fix that in the upcoming practice weeks. That's Burlington, and we'll be back with them next week.
And it comes down to all the special team errors, which might have been the deciding factor in this game. Well, also the defense wasn't able to stop the run throughout of it.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be the concluding factor of the game. Next week, the Red Devils will be playing the Melrose Marauders in Melrose,
Looking
Massachusetts.
to break the curse 0-6.
Melrose coming in this game 6-0, best in the state right now, as they were leading over their opponent, I believe, 9-8, at halftime over Arlington. So we'll see what the Red Devils can do there in what would look to be their toughest matchup of the season so far. So that's the end of the game as the Red Devils fall short, putting another loss in the column, going 0-6 so far in the season. Thank you for joining us here in Wilmington, Massachusetts. I've been Joe Viscioni with Nick Bongiorno and Matt DiMarzio in BCAT Sports coverage of Friday night high school football. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
Yes.
See you next time.